another episode of Hostile Therapy. It's a non-newsworthy week. Nothing's happened, and we're talking about the show.
He said nothing's happened.
Stocks and
Nothing at
bonds
all.
or something, or
So
how to
boring.
knit or crochet socks or a sweater for a dog. So it's gonna be a great show. But welcome back with me, Big Red, and Chris Styles, back for another episode.
Right back at you.
Alexa Page coming in, looking like she's trying to get a few dates for tomorrow.
Oh,
And Erica following in tow. Y'all out there trying to get married or something like that, or y'all trying to get multiple husbands down the road or something like that. She's calling into entanglement.
Fire.
Trying to get entangled.
All right.
Entanglement.
I think I'm good on any sort of entanglement.
So you good on entanglements?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm a born again virgins.
Well, we're gonna end the show on that one.
And I'm a eunuch.
Lightning to start the show and end us all right now. Armageddon is coming today with Alexa. Woo! Man, oh man. How y'all been?
Long week.
Long week.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Very,
It has been a long week, very long week.
very long.
Still got
And cold.
peace.
But other than that, I'm thugging it out, man. Thugging it out.
Well, no, not thugging it out. That's what
Yeah.
happened. That's what happened at Oscars.
Thugs out here, man.
We're gonna get into that later on. We're going
Took it back to the streets of Philly.
we're going to the streets of Chicago first. First story. We didn't get really touch on it last time. Our boy Juicy Smollett.
Juicy.
Juicy.
You're going to stop calling him Juicy.
Juicy Smollett.
He probably knows that name. He probably knows that name. But Juicy or Jussie Smollett got out of prison. He was there
Really juicy.
48 hours after claiming that he's proclaiming his innocence. I'll give it to him. He's got to be a good actor because he sticks to the
Did
script.
not tell you.
He's sticking to the script.
He's not going away from the script at all. So
He taking it to the grave with him.
that tells me he must be pretty good at what he's doing, or not, man. Maybe he took your back.
There's a lot of people good at sticking to their lies.
Right. Yeah, that's
Right?
which is why I always say I could never date an actress because they're that good. At,
Turn it on and turn it off, right?
right. When can you tell if they're acting or not? Or
Never.
People dating actresses all day and don't realize that they should have got an award a long time ago.
For sure.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And that's why I tell people I ain't got no Oscar in my back pocket. You can stop acting.
daytime Emmy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
No Emmy, no Grammy. Mm-mm.
All right. So, okay. This is not going to be a quick segment. It's not going to be like Leave It Medicated. We're going to have a couple minutes on this. But
Okay.
what do you think? Do you think he is weaponizing racism and... Well, before I even say that, let me ask everybody first. Does anybody think he's innocent?
No, I don't.
No.
Any small... Any...
Not an inkling.
Maybe think like...
I mean, you never know.
I don't
mean,
think so.
It's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
I mean, I say 90%. I think he's false, full of shit.
Okay.
Full of
but,
shite.
There's shite.
Shite.
But there's a 10% maybe. You never know.
All
Perception is greater than truth.
Okay, so most of us, well, all of us, pretty much believe he's probably lying. Okay. So with that being said, do you think that he is weaponizing homophobia and racism to push his narrative that he is innocent?
Yes.
You think so? Okay. Okay, Chris, I'll let you speak on it first. What do you think that is what he's using to weaponize his calls to his release? Because that is what he's pretty much has said in his speeches. Like, seems like mostly his racism. He's kind of speaking on like they wouldn't do this to a white guy, put him in prison, put him in prison for falsifying a attack or whatever. Do you think he is, like I said, using this for weaponizing his cause to get out of it?
Since with him being on the scale that he is in life as being an actor and in a public arena, you have to use any and everything you can to be and go in your favor. That's just what I believe because you see, social media, you see the news networks, whoever concoct these stories, knowing that they lies about somebody, but when you put it out there like that, people take it like it's they take it like it's the gospel or something like that. They take it like it's what it is. It's real, and not do any research or find out what really happened before people get scrutinized and publicly condemned. So he just used what he learned and flipped it on them. However, he weaponized it, but he did what he needed to do to have that support from the people and keep that pressure on. And well, he's free. But I mean, we see it all the time. You talk about. I've seen many people lie and say somebody did this or did that, and the person did not. The person that they're trying to convict did not do it. They were, they were innocent, but nothing ever happens to that individual. So he also used that aspect of it too to his advantage. Keep telling the same story. People are going to convince and believe you. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go on, because I don't think you can hear the sound in the background. You can't hear any sound in the background, can you? As far as
I can.
sound
a little bit.
The
Yeah,
music,
you can a little bit.
I can hear you.
There it is. A little bit.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me know if you can hear this. Then.
Yeah.
Is it loud or is it faint?
It's faint.
Okay. So I don't think it's coming through the speakers. Or I think you're hearing it out of my headphones. Hold on. I might have to put on the headphones. I didn't want to put on the headphones.
You see what I did?
You wanted to show us your muscles in your Tar Heel shirt tonight, didn't you?
Yeah.
We're still gonna be.
All right. Hold on. Let me see something. I'm just trying to represent the ENC tonight.
I see it.
I represent for that tonight. All right. Let me know. Yeah. Can you hear this? Did you hear this horn in the background?
No.
Yeah, not now. Not now.
Now tell me.
Nope.
Nada.
Nothing that
time? It was more silent than it was the time before.
Ah, damn.
You got to take off the earphones.
Just take off the headphones. Let your aura just shine tonight, right?
I might have to. I just want to have some background for y'all so y'all could hear the the music.
I heard the music and I heard the horn enough.
Okay.
Look, that means he can't stop us from talking. That means he can go over our time limit, y'all.
Always got that exit button.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. Y'all like, damn. All right, we're good. All right. Erica, I'll let you go next on this. Do you think Jussie is weaponizing homophobia and racism to further his cause to get people to believe he is 100% innocent?
I mean, it's hard to say. There's a lot of evidence against him. When it first happened, I definitely believed him until, like I said, you saw the evidence, and it's like, man. And it was just unfortunate. Do I think that, yeah, he is, victimizing himself? Yeah, most people do. People love to be professional victims. And, he probably, has some underlying thing that he feels to prove that he does feel victimized and he does feel like there's a reason why it's happening, but he's just not owning up to his own BS. And at the end of the day, sometimes that does work in your favor. It does. So It is what it is. If it works for him, it works for him. If he wins, he wins. You know, perception a lot of times is greater than truth. And you know, it's not what you did, it's what you can prove.
It's true. All right. Alexa, you got to say on the matter.
Tis I. Tis I.
Switch the hair. Switch the hair.
You want to? Do you got like a 1-800 number you want to put on the screen?
Oh, you tried it. You tried it, man.
Last,
Anyways,
like I said, I'll put it in the editing. I'll put it on the.
You tried it. But anyways,
You did. You know what? I feel like Red can be very spicy tonight.
it's all good. I ain't worried about that.
All I got is water in here. What you talking about with us?
I ain't even worried about it. At the end of the day, the dude said out his own mouth, on TV, on film and everything else, he said, I'm about to be the gay Tupac.
Oh,
so you already said your ambitions. You had it planned. This ain't nothing but a script. They already researched everything. The two brothers that was at the hardware store, all that. The script went bad. Y'all should have had a couple more rehearsals, basically. So you knew what you was trying to do. And no, you're not the gay Tupac because Tupac wasn't gay. How about you just be yourself and make this statement you're trying to make and not try to capitalize off this image, that image, and that image and try to conglomerate a damn gay Megatron of a sort and you know, storm the social media.
Devastator.
They gonna see through that shit. Be yourself and make your statement. You ain't never have to put Tupac's name in and shit. And so that's why I'm saying, just, you know, it was fake. Be yourself, bro. That's it.
She has a brush too.
100.
She has a brush too.
100 on each side.
I'm fine with that.
Where did gay Megatron come from? So
because you got all this stuff and you putting it together like, you know, you're trying to make it into a, well, you know where it really came from?
What?
Because you know, I'm a former musician and I write a lot of songs.
Okay.
And, sometimes I will put like 3 of my experiences, 2 of my best friends' experiences, a stranger experience, and all this into one song. But unfortunately, the person that I'm with always thinks it's about them. And I always tell them, I said, no, I never write about no one person. I don't write music about one person. If you hear something in the song, I'm writing about Niggatron. Okay, I'm writing about Niggatron. That's what I'm writing about. I'm always writing about Niggatron. I'm writing about all of y'all in one.
Wow,
song.
This is a thing.
So
that's what I'm saying.
We need to make a whole segment.
All my songs are always about Niggatron. It's never going to be about one person because my music is not for one person.
Was the person you with playing with like Transformers or something at the time? Y'all were having a serious conversation?
No, it's my explanation because, you know, I grew up on Transformers.
Right.
You know, I'm the 4th brother. It's 3 girls and 2 boys, but really I'm the 4th brother. I didn't get girly until I was like damn near 17. So, you know, I'm technically the 4th brother. I had cornrows, I wear jerseys.
Yo, I got words for that now.
That's I was great to say, but I said nah.
Whatever. Anyways, I was the 4th brother. So I did all that. Transformers, wore jerseys, sweatsuits, all that. So I grew up on Transformers. I grew up on all them shows, He-Man, She-Ra, you know, so that's why I say Niggatron is like, that's everybody that
do it, finish it.
I never write about one person. You ain't gonna get no whole song. Like who the hell you think you are? You don't get no
a lot of
song.
experiences. I understand that.
Yeah, it's like 8 people in this song. Don't ever get so conceited to think that I'm gonna write one song about you. That's not gonna happen. So, anyways.
All right. Let me go on this before this goes even further. We start talking about pound
I
puppies or
can't believe I
something
said
like that, or
nigga.
Care Bears.
The Teletubbies.
All right, so Teletubbies. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think this dude is weaponizing homophobia and racism. And the problem with that is, which has been a wide-ranging problem since he came out with that, he's always going to be the example that people go for when they say, when someone else comes up with an accusation, like, well, see, remember this one guy who encompasses the entire race somehow? Remember that one guy?
Okay,
You can't
now
believe anybody
we
just
are
because of this
not
one
in
guy.
that anymore.
Yeah, it's
That's why you gotta
still,
add the Tron. You gotta add the Tron.
y'all gonna cut me off one more
No,
time?
yes, I am.
Y'all cutting off for 2
Go,
minutes.
Blow
I'm
the
sorry.
Cut
horn.
y'all
Blow
time.
the horn.
Go,
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry.
boss.
I'm
Blow
sorry.
the horn.
But yes, this is what's going to end up happening is
Mute.
people are always, well, not people, but you know who, are going to come back in this and like,
No.
this dude lied, and somehow he covers every black person. One person, we cover with 13% of the population, but this one guy somehow, unfairly, is going to encompass all of us. And I know that's what they're going to look at. This one symbol. It could be 99% truth. There could be 99% of cases where we're telling the truth about being attacked or racism coming up to us or homophobia coming out. They're always going to look at this one guy. And this is why that's not the only reason it makes me upset. I'm upset because he's lying, period, because people lying, period, about an accusation. They're going to probably bring this, even with just women being raped. They're going to look at him too. And that's not right either. I mean, you should look at every case and see what the details are to see if someone's telling the truth. But to automatically say someone's lying about something, that's what I don't like. And I feel like that's what's going to end up happening because of what he did here, especially with celebrities. I think that's probably going to happen more, maybe with more celebrities than anything. Anytime they get attacked for something or they get persecuted for something, especially if they look like him, they're going to look at it through some rose-colored glasses and not thinking that he's actually telling the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Unfortunately,
I do not agree.
Fair.
I do not agree at all.
At
all.
I didn't hear what you said.
She said she don't agree.
I disagree.
What do you disagree on?
I disagree.
That they're going to do that, or that's wrong?
No, I think. Okay. I think that's generationally antiquated. I don't think that
they still do it.
No, sir. You're showing your age. Okay, people our age do that are closed-minded, but the newer generations, there has been a change in how they. I don't know. Maybe you should go out there and hang out with some of the younger generation.
I do. It's called Twitter and Facebook comments. I see it all the time.
That's your hanging out with the younger generation?
I don't belong with the younger generation. That's called yuck.
You need to understand them, though, a little bit.
Yeah.
I try to. I got a 14-year-old.
That kind of
I'm
stuff.
trying to understand.
That is so early 2000s. A lot has changed. That is a 90s, early 2000s mentality. And a lot has changed within our culture that we do not put that on each other anymore. Get with the times. That's old people talk. I'm sorry.
Yes,
look,
it's old people talk, but it's new people talk. It's been going around for centuries and generations.
Exactly. And isn't it time to stop? Don't you think at some point in time that sort of mentality needs to stop? And it stops.
It needs to, but it hasn't.
Okay, but if you keep on perpetuating that same cycle, then all you're doing is just reinforcing it.
I'm not perpetuating. I'm
yes,
seeing
you are.
it.
Yes,
I see it.
I
see it. I'm not perpetuating anything. I see it. I hear it with my own eyes.
Juicy.
I'm not talking about conversations with just you and me.
African American gay males. Okay, he is not. And if you know what I'm saying, they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So to even be like, oh yeah, people are going to start looking at black gay men like him. No, they are not.
They already
you know, okay, closed-minded people that are not,
there's a lot
open-minded.
There's a
Great.
lot of
Okay, but why perpetuate that? So what? So what?
Who?
Guess what?
I'm not doing
I
that.
am a red bone. Guess what? I do not represent all red bones. Okay, I am fat. Guess what? I do not represent all fat girls.
True.
Okay, I am, Puerto
If you
Rican
don't
and black.
fucking quit
I
calling
do
yourself fat,
not.
I'm gonna come through this damn screen on your
You're
ass.
preaching to the choir, though.
Okay, so no. So
I
why are we
understand
even
what you're saying.
perpetuating that cycle? Like, oh, we should be scared of that, or we should be upset about that, or oh, we should have an issue with that because now he's gonna mess it up for the next black gay guy. No,
And he
he's not.
does.
We are beyond that time. We are beyond that.
You and me
We are
are.
beyond
I'm
that.
talking about the people who control the narrative, who
No,
control the
our
media.
culture has
Well,
been
You
making.
don't control the media, though.
They may
As a
try
former
it.
dancer,
I'm not going to buy into that.
which means
I mean,
80% of my
I'm
friends
not-
were gay. I'm not trying to say every male dancer is gay, but I'm just saying a lot of them are. As a former dancer for 12 years, I'm not talking about stripping. I'm talking about actual professional dancing, trained like in dancing. I had so many friends that were gay that I grew up with before we hit puberty till after we hit puberty. And I can tell you one thing for sure. They know damn well don't nobody speak for all of them.
Mhm.
They know that. And they'll check somebody real quick and be like,
I mean,
you don't speak for me.
I mean,
You don't speak for me. Real quick. They'll check them
exactly.
like,
So to even perpetuate that, I'm not going to be with it, especially, what I'm saying, perpetuating like, oh, like it's fear based. It is,
it makes sense,
it's
though.
fear based. I don't care if it makes sense. It's fear based.
You don't care?
Stereotyping. I don't care if it makes sense to people.
You're right. It is
It makes
stereotyping. I'm not disagreeing.
Okay, so why are we sitting here perpetuating it like people
I'm
should?
not perpetuating. I'm talking about what's real. You're going to sit there and tell me, okay, let's just say it's not majority, but
Don't
where
see
it
the comment.
matters, it's where it matters. If you're saying more police,
If it comes
if
up
you're
more,
if
and
you're
more and more
saying
again,
police, if you're saying police, you can tell me half of the police force may be racist and it perpetuates it. That's enough. It doesn't have to be the other half. That's enough. 1% of the police force is enough.
yeah.
That could affect your life. If 1% of the police thinks that you're lying about something, that 1% arrest you, then you're going to jail, you're going to get shot. So that's a real big deal. It doesn't have to be everybody, but to the people it's important to, the police force,
it's one
the
thing to
government,
be aware.
politics, it's very
It's
important.
one thing
The
to
people who run CNN,
perpetuate the
Fox,
stereotype of that.
NBC, Fox, it's a stereotype, but that doesn't mean it's not run rampant. Stereotypes are fake, they're not
And
true. But
the
people
more
do
that
it
you
all
put
the
yourself
time.
in the box, that should be a fear and a contemplation. I don't know how to say the word.
Contemplating.
Yeah, of how we
Contemplation.
act and let that direct how we move. No, it's one thing to be aware. My son is aware of what to do when police come, but it's not because all policemen are racist. No,
Exactly.
I get to the case of it. Or police mostly see, civilians as mindless zombies, and they're scared for their lives, and they're taught that fear, and so they project that onto us. And yes, in the past, it has been definitely geared towards African Americans. So you have to be aware. But do I want you to be in fear or start to be like, oh, he gonna do something because I'm black or this or that or the other? I want you to be aware, but I don't want you to live with that fear and bring that onto you, because then you're attracting that sort of action to you. You know what I'm saying? So that sort of generalization, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
So do you think, well, if that's the case, then
that comment, yeah.
If that's the case, then why do you think Jussie Smollett is using that as his reason for being locked up if he doesn't believe that's real?
I think that he just wants to be a victim. People will use anything about themselves to be a victim. I don't think that's a generalization of him being gay. That is a generalization of the human condition. People are going to victimize themselves when they want to. And that they will use anything about them. They will use anything, any leverage.
There has to be some truth to that, though. Because when he came out with those accusations, he had the LGBT community coming out in droves saying, why are people, talking about this story? Why aren't people helping them? Why are there so many black people that are not,
and then once they realized that he was lying, they're like, he's a liar.
Right.
No, we ain't
But
done with
why
that.
would they
It's not a
use that?
victim.
But
Because
why would
that
they
is
use
the
that if that's
initial
not a
gut
real thing?
jerk reaction.
I agree with you.
Anybody going to use anything they
Perception.
can to have a leg to stand on in
That,
the fight.
but that's not a gay thing. So to make it, oh, you know,
Right.
now we're going to use that. No, people will use anything. So stop. Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Stop using those situations as, oh, now they all black guys and all gay guys are going to have to deal with that. No, everybody in every situation has to deal with those sort of things. Just like women who cry rape, just like, you know, every single situation that we see, the more that we put it in boxes of labels, the more we are not able to actually address the real issue. The real issue is that he's just a liar and he used his positions in communities to protect himself. Everybody does that though. And
Erica,
people that are
disagree.
putting that on there. And then to what I think what I disagree with is saying, well, now you messed it up for all the black people and all the gay people. Stop putting that on.
What I'm saying is, I mean, okay, I guess I see what you're saying. I don't disagree that we shouldn't do that, but where I guess we disagree is that actually will happen.
It's just going to happen.
We shouldn't, based off of one example, say everybody is this way. We shouldn't do that. But I don't think that is the nature. It may not be the nature of the people that are in high school right now, middle school right now. The people who are, I guess, 24 and up, I say that is the nature of them right now. They still will look at the news. They still
I think it's a little bit older. I don't think so. Not in my experience. You know, I could be wrong. But, you know, in volunteer work that I do with young people in their young 20s, no, they don't. You know, I don't see that sort of mentality. I see that mentality 33 and up, 32 and up.
Perhaps. Okay. I mean,
so it's like okay, we are transferring from that. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and talk about the human condition more than the labels and the stereotypes and the box, because then that's when we are able to be a part of actually addressing real issues and making actual changes in our community.
Okay.
Staying with that thought process is staying in a past thought process that our coming up generations are transferring from, and that's a good thing. Let's join them. Okay. Because at some point you got to join the younger generation. You have to listen to what they're saying, listen to what they feel, because they're shaping the world right now.
We ain't never got to join that younger generation. Fuck them kids.
Well, can you agree with this then?
I mean, then you're saying fuck your kid. I mean, real talk.
No. I'm talking about agreeing with them. No, you have to learn from the elders. You have to learn from the wiser people. We got what we have to offer, just like our aunties and grandmas had what they had to offer.
No, they are steeped in trauma and
so were we. So all we can do is support.
So
all we can do is support. All we can do is support from our experience. I'm not gonna be on here learning these damn TikToks with you. No, I'm not.
Why not? Why would you limit yourself and make that an age thing? Why? I don't do TikTok either. But why would I be like, oh, I'm too old to do that? There are people older than us.
I'm not saying you're too old to do it.
And doing a great job.
I'm not saying you're too old to do it, but I'm just saying you don't have to morph your mind.
No one said that
accept and understand that generation.
My goodness. You know what I'm saying? Our younger generation is forging new paths. And they are, you know what I'm saying?
And they can't do them if we're going to copy and paste our path. They can't force you a path. If we're going to copy and paste our path, you got to let them go through. You got to let them go through the motions, because they're born at a certain time for a certain reason. And they're here for a certain time for a certain reason.
I know. I've learned so much.
All from blending and fading, like we get the fade. You blend it in together. I got my core on top. The rest of that, I'm blending like a fade.
If my grandma and my great aunties didn't tell me the stuff they told me, I would not be the person I was today. If they try to just be like me or just try to understand me, if they didn't challenge me, if they didn't come up against me sometimes, I would not be the person I am today. We can't just sit here and just say, This is a new thing. No, you have
So
to.
you're saying that you really can't learn from younger generations?
I'm
or
not saying I
that
can't
they don't
learn
have
from
different
them.
wisdoms?
I'm not saying I can't learn
Oh
from
my
them. Now
goodness.
trust me.
That's
No. I learn from them. I learn from them. But I'm not going to alter who I am to try to make them more comfortable. No,
that's
I'm
not what I said.
I'm
Well,
Not to make them more comfortable.
That's
See,
what
that's
she
the
said.
problem. That's
I'm
the
just saying what I'm
problem.
saying.
A
I'm
lot
auntie.
of times we feel like these kids gotta respect us, and we the elders, and we this, and we that.
Well, they do. Well, yeah,
They
they
do
do.
respect
They
us.
do. I'm sorry. My
But
nieces and
respect us
nephews
now.
don't respect me.
It's a
Period.
two-way street.
Yeah.
It is a two-way street. It
And I
definitely
respect them
is.
too. But I'm just
And-
saying they're gonna
and
respect me though.
That sort of attitude towards our young people is
Mm.
what constantly divides us from generation to generation to generation. It's a pattern.
I don't
It's
agree
pattern.
because this is the thing.
It's a
If you got a
pattern.
real actual down auntie and uncle, like really down, not just lip service, I'm gonna tell you right now, they gonna pull up when nobody else pull up. When all your friends don't pull up, they're gonna pull up. So all I'm saying is
I don't think that's really not the actual core of the conversation that we were having. The core of the conversation is that young people are having different sort of experiences that we are talking about, and at some point maybe we need to pay attention and listen.
well, we always pay attention and listen, but I'm just
Obviously
saying
not.
adjusting though. That's my thing. I pay attention and I listen to everything my son says, my nieces and nephews. Even when I was a mentor up in Washington, I mean, I dealt with hundreds of girls. You think I didn't listen to what they were saying? My thing is like I'm still going to come from my auntie point of view. I'm not going to just
Like,
mute everything.
Like
I get what you're
be
saying,
their
Lex.
friend. Yeah, I get you. I understand.
Yeah, I'm still Auntie Lexa. Period.
And
I'm always
that's a
Auntie
balance
Lexa.
to have.
And I'm not going to,
But to not to really not pay attention what they have to bring to the table and the impact that they're already making on our society and our world is still being a fool. It's
well,
still,
they're the future.
being an opal.
I tell them that all the time.
They're the
Y'all
now.
future.
They're
Yeah,
the now.
but you're not
We
going
need
to
to
make
help teach
me
them too.
They're the
though.
now.
not tell you
Yeah.
what's on my heart.
At least help
They're the
guide them.
now.
If something's on my heart,
Guide.
I'm gonna tell you.
Exactly.
I like
But you got to guide them. But you got to guide anybody in your life. But guess what? I promise you, there's some young people that if you really pay attention can guide you to opening your mind a little bit more. And it does take humility and wisdom and discernment to be able to shut up and listen to a young person and listen to their hopes and dreams for the future.
I think we
Because that
got
is a
off on the
beautiful
wrong
thing.
because I 100% agree with you. So I don't know where the verbiage got fumbled.
Mhm.
I don't know where the verbiage got fumbled, but I
Yeah.
100% agree with you. I listen to what they say, and yeah, I do learn. I learn from my child. I learn from my nieces and
Yeah.
nephews. I
I
learn
love
from the
it.
girls that were in my program. I learn from them and I listen to them. All I'm saying is that I don't
I'm gonna give
I
a
don't
shout
I don't
out.
feel the need to identify per
I don't
se.
feel a need to identify as well because I'm not them. I'm a 42-year-old woman, and that I am happy with who I am. I don't have to pretend like I'm a 20-year-old. But I'm going to give a shout out to B3 of Columbia, South Carolina. Their little music, they are about being, being born and bred who you're supposed to be. And they're always, super, super positive about young and upcoming rap artists. So, we would have these things where, they would come and, I was like those spiritual guru and just a support system. And they would come and I would just listen to them. I would listen to the things they were rap about. I would listen to their lyrics and their content. And you're talking about 19-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds. And yeah, I just listened.
Right.
I paid attention and to young women that had hopes and dreams and what they felt like was missing in the world. And as they were growing up in the disconnect and listening to them, it made me see, certain and different things. I'm saying my son is 12. I have changed and become a better person from actually honoring that my son is an individual person having life experiences and viewing the world in a way that I will not understand. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a boy, he is going to be a Black man, and he has all these and like I said, I had him when I was 30. So yeah, I got 30 years old and I got a whole bunch of wisdom. But you think that boy hadn't taught me something in life? You know
Well, see, and this is why I agree with you, because
So,
I've always been spiritual. And I've told my son since he was 5 or 6. I know he probably thought I was crazy back then, but I told him when he was 5 or 6, I said, "You're my son, but you're not my son. And don't ever forget that. You are your own spirit." I totally believe in past lives and karma because of my own experiences. And I told him, I said, whatever life plan you have, I'm going to support you. But I'm going to tell you right now, all I can do is my best. If you do something and get yourself messed up, get yourself on some, crazy path, I'm going to pray for you. But I'm not going to lose too much sleep because at the end of the day, you're really not my child. You're God's child. We are both God's children. And I've told him that since he was young. And honestly, I love just being my authentic self and just being an auntie because I love when people come up to me and they like, "Oh, listen to this song." And then I just say, "You know what? Do you want to hear the original? That's the remix. Let me pull up the original for you. Y'all sitting up here acting like this is something new." Or like when they try to redo the Running Man. You can't redo no damn classic dance. How are you just going to remake the Running Man? So, I feel like I give that when it comes to that generation. And I'm going to tell you what we went through, but it's totally different. Totally different now.
Yeah.
Well,
I think a lot of times there's just thought processes that we, aren't necessarily going to stay the same. Just like our thought process of teenagers in the 90s is very different than the thought process of the generation before us that was teenagers in the 70s.
Very true. But let me speak on the systematic reason why I think it matters because, we're saying the young people. What Jussie Smollett was speaking to was not the young people. Jussie Smollett was speaking to the people who are going to be in charge of putting him behind bars or freeing him, which is an older generation. Most of those judges are probably 40, 50, 60, even 70 years old that have those old thought processes. That's who you're speaking to. When you heard the judge giving him his sentencing, he even said that you have ruined it for people who come with future race allegations or homophobic allegations or rape allegations. He even mentioned that in his speech. So it has to come from somewhere. He has to, if he's thinking that he's in charge,
it's an excuse.
I think it's an
judge,
excuse.
jury, and executioner, and he's that person, then you have to believe it actually exists. That's who you're speaking to. And when Jussie Smollett was actually giving his speech, that's who he was speaking to as well. He wasn't speaking to the young people because they're not in charge of what happens to them. They're not in charge of
mentality that,
I'm just speaking.
But
I can agree with what you're saying, Erica. I mean, I don't have any statistics to say that what you're saying is wrong or right, and so I'll go with what you're saying. But for the people that it does matter, the people that are in charge of what happens to them, I think they definitely do still have that mentality, and that is an old mentality. But there are old people in charge of him. What happens to him that gives him the punishment.
And see, Red, like I said, I agree with all of us. Right. And one of the things that I'm going to say really quick is, if you look at when he first got sentenced, he was leaving out and he was saying what he was saying. Although we knew in our minds and how we felt, and we knew the truth about what he had done, right? But his energy, his passion, and the mantra, the energy coming from his voice made me think like, damn, well, maybe he was innocent, or maybe something else happened, or he put that doubt in our minds. And this is what propaganda, this is these really old school people who have that, the people and the judges, the officers have this old mentality, and their actions, their behaviors are repeating these mantras out to the public. That's where that needs to change.
It needs to change,
it
and
needs
it won't
to change.
It needs to.
Yeah.
Until it changes with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're voters. Our generation is coming up and starting to take offices. You know what I'm saying? Starting to, take, seats in the courtroom. We need to change.
I got actual friends.
In our generation, it's very significant.
That's crazy
right now in the changes of the world. So my thing is, you know what? I know that's how it was. I know, and this is, like I said, this is just real. I know in certain areas I'm gonna blow out my hair just so I'll be more palatable. And I kind of hate that sometimes, but I do it. I still do it. So
You said
judge me.
you're going to blow out your hair?
Sometimes I do. If I know that there's certain areas that they'll accept me more if my hair is blown out, I'll blow it out. If I'm gonna use it to get what I want, right? If I'm doing like, I'm like, this is the crowd I'm in, so
Camouflage.
let me code switch.
That happens a lot. Code switch.
Right, and I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? But then there's some areas that is the reality where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change the narrative for me. I'm not gonna code switch on this. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? It's still gonna work out for me. I'm making a change within inside of myself to not code switch, to let my hair be natural and just let it be, and just be my authentic self. That needs to happen more with our generation, because it's our generation that has the issue with that, because we did have to do that to survive. We had to do that to survive. Okay. But we are entering this sort of playing field where things are happening in our society, where our voices are more like, no. And like I said, the young people coming up behind us, are like, no, you will accept us how we are. And more you see that acceptance. Well, guess what? What side are you going to be on? The side that keeps on perpetuating the box and the parameters that we had to grow up with in the 90s to get ahead, or this new generation coming through, that we instilled that in them. The 90s instilled that in this generation coming up, that we ain't gonna do that no more. We're gonna join, let's join in the fruit that we put the seeds in. 90s is the greatest decade ever. We made such significant changes coming out of the 80s. Why are we still going to perpetuate what we had to do to survive when these kids coming up have been breaking those barriers? Locks in the professional workplace is now more common than ever, and it's beautiful. Okay, but there are some people that had to break those barriers and say, I'm not going to be put in that box anymore, right? And you couldn't, right? But then there are some people that could. The more people that try and could, the more you push, the more you change, the more you say, I will not be in that box. I will not be in that box. I will not be in that box. And then guess what? The box gets torn down. This has been time and time and time again in our society, in our African-American community. We have done so much. At what point in time do we start looking at ourselves and be like, yeah, we got the power. Yep, we still got to fight. And yeah, we still got to deal with this bullshit. But ultimately, we have done all of this. Why would I want to stay there?
Glory. Tear it up. Tear it up. Tear it
right. up. So why would I want to stay there? I don't want to ever do that, because my son and generations, like I said, the young kids in college right now, they are fighting against that mentality. Guess what I'm going to join? I'm going to join them. I'm not such an old fool, so wrapped up in my own knowledge that I can't sit and join them in their fight to change the world and support them. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear that, I think of these kids and I think of these young kids coming up, and I'm like, I'm going to join them, because I hear what they're saying. And no, it's not for me to pretend like I'm a 20-year-old, but it's for me to support and guide when they go through a rough time. You know what I'm saying? And when they feel like they fight is over, and be like, keep on going. This is your dream. This is y'all generations. This is what y'all have been doing. And I am here for it. And I'm here for you. And guess what more? What I'm not going to do? I'm not going to stay in the past neither. I'm not going to perpetuate those stereotypes and take that on me anymore, because we aren't there anymore. We are not in that sort of mental slavery anymore. And mentally slavery does still exist in many different areas, but it's going to take us to say, you know what, I'm not going to even speak life into any of that. Yep, some of that is definitely true. So what? Fuck that shit. We ain't gonna do that no more.
Gotta speak life, speak different, speak something, but not that. You know what I mean?
All right.
Okay, so that's where I'm coming from on it.
All right.
That's what's
I
up.
don't even know we don't fundamentally disagree. I just don't agree it's there yet. That's the only thing I disagree with. As far
And
as
you're right, it's
people
not.
that matters, I don't.
But the more that we say we got to live by it, or that we got to be scared of it, the more we keep it alive.
Right. Okay. I get what you're saying. And I don't disagree with that either. You know, that's how you break down barriers. Is the next.
Can I get a point?
Huh?
Can I get a point?
Yeah, you get a point.
I didn't know we could get points.
I want to win something. I want to win something.
I'm hoping let's see, we got somebody that's trying to pop in. All right. Okay.
Who is it?
Damn it, man.
I don't know.
Mantrotic. Who is it?
You just can't let people pop in like that now. Just like that, you better call before you knock on my door.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Let's see. I don't know.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. You have a nice beard, Bakeret. Are you a Muslim?
What you had to say on the matter, man?
The matter? What's the matter? I'm not from America. I'm from Africa.
Okay.
What part?
Morocco.
Okay. That's what's up.
And to answer your question, no, I'm not a Muslim, man.
Oh, okay. You have a nice beard. I like your beard, man.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
It's the beard. You thought he was a Muslim because of the beard, right?
I might have to become one now just because you gave me that compliment. But did you have anything to say on the subject matter?
Yeah, what you think? What's happening with the Oscars?
We're going to get on that a little later. We're going to get it. That's going to be the last subject of the day. But I guess you're referring to the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident, right?
Yes.
I think it could have been handled differently. I'll just say that for now. But we're going to talk about that in a couple more subjects. We got one more subject we're going to talk about after this, and then that's going to be our main topic for today. And if you want to get back on, man, and give us your point of view about it, you're welcome to come back.
That's good. No problem. Thanks, man.
We'll get back on it. We'll get on the subject in a few minutes. But yeah, feel free to come back on, man. We would love to hear your point of view on it. Okay.
For sure.
Okay, man. Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right,
Erica.
All right, let's get on the second subject. This is a video Erica pulled up. Let me share it right quick and let's see. Hold on just for a second, guys. Let me pull it up.
I'm gonna just put the little thing on my shit.
Where is it at? I'm trying to share it right quick for y'all.
I like these clips.
All right, here we go. Okay, video's freezing up a little bit. And see, male fact or is it? If your man is heavily criticizing another woman. All right, let me take that off right quick. Okay, I don't know. Did y'all see the writing on that one? You see the writing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if I can get the gist of the question. Okay. Male fact or is it? I can't even see the writing on there. I'm gonna paraphrase because I can't see the writing on there now. If a male, and Erica, you might can help me with this. If a guy is criticizing, I'm paraphrasing. If a guy is criticizing a woman on her looks or how she acts, I'm paraphrasing, and he's constantly doing this, does that mean he really likes her? Am I getting the question right? If not,
yeah, like if he's like talking junk about a female over and over and over and over again, but he's like downing her, that means that he wants her.
All right.
Negative or positive, that much attention says something.
Okay. Can you give me like an example, like how that might be?
Okay, so if y'all are talking and he complaining about a certain female, but he complaining about her all the time, like y'all talking about the clouds and he bring up her name. If y'all talking about a TV show and he bring up her name, you know, and
right.
But you better than her, and but you know, all he's doing is talking about her, like you know.
I love the voice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but you trashing her. You bringing up this chick. Like, I'm not bringing her up.
Right.
You bringing her
Out
up
the blue.
and talking about
Out the
like
blue. Yeah.
her Facebook, or look at her duck face, or ew, I can't even believe. Look at that, ew. How could anybody want to smash that?
And he in there all in the DMs.
Are we talking about? Are we talking about a type of woman, or are we talking about one specific woman? Like her name is Mary Ann. He keeps talking about her over and over. Well, I just want to get clarification, because I mean, I think that's a different topic then.
A type or specific. If the time is going there and the interest is going there.
No.
First of all, you're not going to put that much interest into stuff that they're not.
Hold on, because we're going to give people time. We're going to give people the time to talk about it.
What is his fixation?
Copies on. Okay.
Yeah, a fixation. Like, I hate girls that wear weave. I hate girls that wear weave. Ew, look at them. I hate that they wear weave. But then he's talking about it all the time and pointing out every girl that wear weave. Trust and believe.
All right, Erica. Then I'm gonna let you. I'll let you go first on it, then, Erica, and you tell us what that means. That means he really likes her, or that means something else. So I'll let you go ahead.
Energy flow, or what? Attention goes where energy flows. I believe that anything that you are putting too much attention on and bringing up over and over again, it just means that you're thinking about it over and over and over again. And if it's in your mind and you're thinking about it over and over again, there's something about that female that you desire. Now, you may be mad that you desire it, and you may be upset about that, but something about that female you attracted to.
You're attracted to. Something.
You're attracted to that female. You want, you know what I'm saying? Yes, and you may not like that you attracted to them, or you may be saying it so that you'll stop, to be like, try to psych yourself out, be like, oh, I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her. Okay. But yet you talk about her all the time.
Right.
Yeah. There's something about you that do like that female. There is something about you that do want, you attracted to something over there.
Right.
Because you talking about it. You talking about her Facebook. You talking about her hair. You talking about her clothes. You talking about what she do. Way too much.
Commenting on everything.
Yeah.
LOL and all on the bitch's shit.
And if I'm asking you and I'm not bringing up that person's name,
ain't nobody crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Then I'm just like, nah, that means that you thinking about it all the time. And if you thinking about it all the time, there's something going on there with you. Not saying there's something going on with you and that person. Something going on with you, homie.
So let me
about you.
Let me ask you this question.
Hold on. We're gonna give you your time. Okay. We'll let you go next. Erica, were you done?
No. Okay. So
you said no.
All right, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Is that the banana?
I need potassium. Okay. Anyways, there is I have a spiritual mentor that talks about femininity, and she is like super sexual and just gorgeous, and she gets attacked all the time by men that say that they don't like women like her, but they follow her all the time and have something to say all the time and are constantly trying to get her attention. But yet when she's like, I ain't bothered with you, and no, I don't agree with what you're saying, then they flip the script and be like, you a hoe, you this, you that, try to call her out her name and talk about her life, but yet you stay steady on her page.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you be like, oh, showing her, picture your girl being like, I'm glad you're not like that. I'm glad you're not like that. But yet you watching her every freaking day. Yeah, you want some of that, boo-boo.
All right, let's switch it to y'all can hear the music in the background, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just let y'all know.
Okay.
All right. Chris, I'm gonna give you the next one then. You tell us what you think about this subject.
All right, Brother Red, appreciate it. Personally, I don't think it's true 100% for everybody, but I just remember when I was growing up as a kid, and the girls would, be hitting on me, and the girls be calling me names and all that type of stuff, and I was mad at them for doing that. But I don't know. They might not know how to express that I do have.
like
I'm
you.
attracted to you. I like you, dude.
Mhm.
And until you got a teenager in high school, then it was like, oh, I liked you. Since we was okay. Boom. So I would say a portion of that is true if you flipped it, because dudes are, as kids, they done the same thing. But I do believe to some degree that is true for when men do that. It's some type of fixation, or is something about her. And the question I was going to ask you all as a collective is he ashamed of himself and deflecting by saying, I mean, he's secretly attracted to her or something like that, and he's ashamed of it because she's really not attractive, but it's something about her, or she could be attractive, but he know he can't have her or get her. And he's just bringing attention to his true feeling inside, as opposed to him deflecting, saying it's one thing or the other. So I'm just thinking, is he ashamed, or the people like that are ashamed that I feel like this way, or what is it? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not a man, so I don't know.
I know, but okay. So if it was flipped,
I'm a man, and I know. I'm just joking. I'm just
What do
joking.
you think?
All right, Chris. Is that all you had to say, Chris?
Yes, sir.
All right, Alexa, your turn. 2 minutes.
I say I'm a man as a joke, but but the real shit is, I've had very, very, I'm talking about very, very close male friends. Never ever crossed the line. Never been intimate, nothing, and could talk about anything. So this is what I'm saying. Once we have these type of conversations about these issues, because trust me, it always comes up, and usually it's with the girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever. Because I'm like, right? I swear to God, I tell people all the time, if I had one more tick of testosterone, I probably would have been a male. I'm like, I guarantee you I'm on the borderline if I were to get tested. So I'm saying I understand things that a lot of women wouldn't understand, and then I can explain things. And so I see it from both sides. Now, I'm all female. Of course, I'm girly. I mean, shit, I'm a makeup artist. You know, I love dressing up and all that, but I understand the mindset of a male for some reason. Maybe it's just growing up around males, whatnot. So they can talk to me. And what I found out is this: out of all my close friends, they tell me that a lot of women criticize them because they just not like them girls. You know, you criticize these girls with the bikinis and big butts because you think you can never do it. But the truth is you could. If you would have put your mind to it, you could. Because it's happened all the time. And then like certain girls, like they don't want to bring attention to them like they like them. Mm-hmm. So they'll distract it. Just like Erica said, I hate girls with weave. That nigga ain't even looking at the weave. He looking at her ass or titties or something else. He want to find an excuse to click on it. That's what it is. And if you go back into the history, he got an alibi. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you know, because a real detective, you know, like me, if I really want to get down to the nitty gritty, you know, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I can figure out everything. I can figure out what you clicked a year ago, 5 months ago. So you're not gonna sit up here and tell me I hate girls that get BBLs and this and that. And then every girl you salivating over definitely got one. Because a real researcher gonna research that shit. A real researcher gonna research it. And if I show you some before and after pictures, now you mad? Wait, what you mad? Because I'm bringing you research.
All right, man.
I'm showing you this chick that you
time's up.
With a flat ass, and now she has a BBL.
To the bell.
So,
My turn.
Ding, ding.
So that's all I'm just saying. All I'm saying is this.
Time's up, man.
A woman knows.
Y'all going overboard tonight. Y'all hear? Yeah. Y'all
You gotta do the buzzard.
We know. We know. I'm sorry. Okay, buzz me up. You should have been buzzed me up.
All y'all getting buzzed tonight. Every one of y'all
buzzed me up. I ain't even tripping. Buzz me up. Shit.
My turn on this. This is why I asked for clarification. Like, was it about a certain type of woman, or was it just one specific woman? Because if this is one specific woman and the guy keeps harping on it, saying over and over again, then yeah, I think there is something there where he probably does like that girl.
Right.
If he keeps bringing her up, especially with the frequency. I don't know what the frequency is, but if he keeps bringing her up in a conversation, then yeah, he probably does like her. But if it's a certain type of woman, no, I don't see a problem with that. If he said he doesn't like weave, or he said he doesn't like BBL, or he don't like breast implants, or he don't like her being too loud, or she got a certain personality, you know, maybe he's just trying to tell the girl he with. If he's with a girl, and I'm guessing that's what it is too, he's with his girl and he's telling her, this is the type of girl I don't like. No, I don't think he's bringing it up just to hide the fact that he doesn't like that girl. I think he's telling her that this is what I don't like. If he's with her, I don't know what kind of girl he's with, but he's probably trying to tell her, this is what I don't like. I like you where you are. Your personality is beautiful. What you got on you is beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. Your body is beautiful. This is why. Or he might be just trying to reassure her if she has low self-esteem. That's not what I'm looking for. He could be doing that as well. So no, I don't think that necessarily, if he's talking about a type of woman, that's what he wants. I think he's either reassuring her or he's just having a subject matter talking about what kind of woman he doesn't like. But if he is talking about one specific woman over and over and over and over and over again, then he might secretly like her. Yeah. Especially if he's bringing her up like every conversation.
No, look, it ain't a secret. It's just a secret.
Right. If he's just like eating dinner or something and he's watching like Fences, he's like, you know what? I don't like girls with big butts or something like that. I'm like, where'd that come from? Right. That has nothing to do with the movie Fences. Why are you bringing this up right now? Oh, no reason. Just making, conversation.
No. Depends. Wow. Reg, you just, all y'all triggered something to me right now.
I want to hear it.
A lot of times, what I feel what happens is we want to tell a female or a female vice versa to a male sometimes. We might say something in a roundabout way, not to offend or say something that's going to bring a negative reaction to what you're trying to relay to him or her. Mm-hmm. And it's like you might see something on TV. Oh, do you think she's attractive? Or I don't like that. This and that and the third. Right. So it's almost like sub-programming in a way, but not being direct with like a passive.
I can see that.
A passive messaging, as opposed to bringing something negative.
It's still a red flag to me though, because it's like I'm real adamant about not judging other women. You know what I'm saying? Because women have it hard, or other men. I don't like, really judging. I like to understand why people do what they do, but what people do what they do, I don't like have that on. So if, I'm saying in conversations, you steady downing other people for whatever reason, that's a red flag to me. Why are you downing people? Mm-hmm. It's concerning to me because number one, that means if we ever on the outs, that's what you're going to talk about me is you're going to down me.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't, so that would bug me. Even if a guy was like, man, I don't like girls with BBLs. I like the way you look. I don't like that. Why are you even comparing?
Right.
Well,
and then
why are you in the conversation? You're supposed to be head over heels over me right now, nigga.
Because I'm not right. I'm not insecure. I'm not insecure like that to feel the need to down another woman to make myself look or feel better. It's just not. So if you know what I'm saying, so it's like, no, like
I don't think it's insecure.
I'm gonna worry. I think like, about
look,
that.
Give me my damn sugar coating. Give me my sugar coating shit. I already know all this shit. I know it's gonna wear off. I know it's gonna wear off in 6 to 12 months, maybe 2 years on the longest end. But I'm just saying, give me my due sugar coating. Give me my due sugar coating. If you at the beginning of a relationship, then you're supposed to be sugar coating.
Good question. What does that look like?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear none of that shit. I am motherfucking Beyonce during the sugar coating. During the sugar coating. during the sugarcoating, you shouldn't even see nobody else.
Yeah, you don't have
you
to
Stevie
compare.
Wonder. You Stevie
Okay.
Wonder.
So you want
If during that sugarcoating stage,
live,
you don't turn to Stevie Wonder,
I don't
then
think that should
I ain't
ever
the one.
end. Because I know for
I ain't
me
the one.
it wasn't end.
Because when I got sugarcoating, I'm Stevie Wonder. I can see the most
that should never
ripped
end.
up, handsome guy, and guess what? He'll look like a shadow. That's how you're supposed to be in a sugarcoating.
I mean, I don't know.
And I'm just
sugarcoating is lying, though. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying
gonna
it's
do
lying.
that.
I'm just saying that's the beginning. That's the honeymoon stage.
No,
Right.
I don't agree with that. I think that should be a forever. I mean, because I know
it's never forever, girl. It's not.
For me,
I'm sorry, it's not.
It's for me. It's like if I'm like attracted to you, and you my dude. Every day I'm gonna look at you and be like, damn, you fine. Like you fine. Like, oh my God, you look so good. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying
like,
he's not fine.
You
but
smell
I'm just saying,
amazing.
There's a difference between
like
sugarcoating.
Like, please rub on my booty. Come rub on my booty.
Like you living right in the moment. Like every day you living in the moment. You living right then and there in the present.
Mixing it up.
As opposed to
y'all mixing it up. When I say that, I'm not saying that every day you shouldn't love and cherish your thing. Your relationship. All I'm saying is this. Let's just keep a stack. We are all grown. Okay? There is such thing as a honeymoon stage. There's such thing as a honeymoon stage. So all I'm saying is this. If you are in that honeymoon stage, give it 100%. Because it's going to become a thing where you start noticing stuff. Now, whether you are really committed or not, that's a different story. That's a totally different story. If you really, really committed, then you already know. I feel like I'm grown enough to know. I know when I'm in a damn honeymoon stage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stupid. I like shit. I'm pushing 40. So I already know, like, it's going to come a time where I'm not going to have my nose wide open. And I'm not going to be sitting up here walking on stardust. That's fine, because this is real life.
You're going to be using a cane.
That's real life. But I'm just saying, you got to understand the thing about commitment. Because commitment is for long term. Right. So, but all I'm saying is, when I do get my honeymoon stage, don't short me.
Yeah, you in it.
No, don't short me.
Yeah,
don't short me by salivating over no other, bitches in front of now you jipping me out of my honeymoon stage. Now that's gonna piss me off.
But I mean, are you saying that you're not gonna be salivating over anybody, like in a honeymoon stage or after that?
No,
I'm not saying you have to go get the guy, but you saying you don't see anyone else once you're with someone? You really?
I mean, if you're really in a honeymoon stage,
but everybody's different.
You said it doesn't last though.
I don't think that the dude or the female is really in that stage if they're like that. I don't think they're really there. I don't think that's the one. Then that's not the one. When you're really like that, you don't give a damn if a straight up runaway model, ripped up, your perfect type, your perfect shape, your perfect everything, come walking by you and say, ma'am, I just want you to know I want to take you out. Something told me to walk up to you. They could tell you the best story ever. And you know what you will say?
No.
If you don't get the fuck out of my face, you ugly ass nigga.
I'm not even talking about somebody entertaining trying to date you. I'm just saying, you talking about if you're in the honeymoon phase, you don't see any other beautiful people, or you blind to that.
You're not going to
realistically
deny that. Like, if somebody were to come up to you and say, is this person ugly? No, I'm not gonna say, oh, they ugly. I'm not gonna say that.
But you with your homegirls, and you're not gonna be like, man, if I was single right now, I'd be going after him right now.
No,
that's why.
Not that far.
Women go to strip clubs. It's like men go to strip club. Like,
no, you will admit if somebody is attractive or not,
but
it's not that you are even like remotely like for instance, one time I was in a honeymoon stage and ended up going to a bachelorette party. Bachelorette party, like shit, I was used to going to the boring ones. I didn't know I was finally actually going to a real, actual lit bachelorette party, like lit. So I didn't even know what to expect. Like I'm thinking I'm coming to another boring old little, let's take a shot, little half-tone stripper come in, you know, like I just thought it was gonna be like that. I didn't know I was coming to a real lit shit. Next thing you know, boom, 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 coming through the door like the top damn strippers, and I'm just like, you know, shots swirling around, lights swirling around. Next thing you know, like, man, I ain't never been in no shit like that. So, you know, honestly, I was in the honeymoon phase. I literally wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wanted to leave. Like, that was my first thing, like, leave. Because I see, like, 90% of the females in here is pretty much in a happy, unhappy relationship. And I hate to say it, man. I mean, I'm knock on wood, I hope it ain't like this, but 90% of them damn male strippers is fucking. And that's just what it is. And so they come to these parties and they are like, whatever, you know? So I'm just like, whoa.
I don't know. That's never been my experience. I don't know. I love throwing parties, and I love throwing lit ass parties, and I love throwing parties with strippers.
Ain't as lit as Alexis though.
No, I'm talking about like home parties. Now, if you go to like a show in Vegas,
that's what
like
I'm talking about.
Obviously,
I'm talking about home stage. Parties.
They just on stage.
I hired a male stripper, and it was a lot that went into it, and I was pretty much his assistant his whole time. So I was rubbing him down, and he was naked. You know what I'm saying? And the king was
loose,
massive.
Free. Now,
it was So I was professional because I was the one running the party, and not only that, the person that I did want to sleep with and did think was, you know, the bomb.com was there too, but I still had to rub this stripper down and make sure I still had to be his assistant. And
so you had to. That was part of the contract.
That's a different story. Now, if the person I was actually in love with,
I mean, I rubbed oil on his back
with the stripper.
He's like, "Can you get my back?"
On his lap with his arms around me in a corner,
and he's like, "Could you hold it?" He's like, he needed it. He's like, "Could you hold this tight?" He's like, "Could you hold this tight up so I could tie this down?" So I did help him get his costume together. You know what I'm saying? But was there anything sexual between me and him? Like, no, absolutely not. Because I don't do that kind of stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't even bring that touch.
I run a tight ship. So he already knew that wasn't on the agenda. You have anything with that other person like that, number one, it ain't gonna be in my house. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying, permission gotta go through me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm running the party. You know what I'm saying? But did I make sure everybody was amped up? So when he came and did his show, that everybody was lit. There was women there that were with their husband. I think that there's just a certain level of maturity that needs to come with that. That is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I was in the honeymoon phase with that person, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing funny like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there was a female stripper there, and I said, make sure you go give him a lap dance and rub all your titties all over him, because you know what I'm saying? She a stripper. You know what I'm saying? That's her job. Make him feel good. Make him smile. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna pay you extra to give him a real nasty lap dance.
To each their own.
I didn't
phase. I don't want to see
insecurity on that.
Flopping in front of me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it.
How I am. These are strippers. If you really, really worried about, you know, strippers or any woman or anything, goodness gracious, let them have them.
I mean, it's not that you're worried. It's just that you just don't want to touch it, and you don't want it in your face.
What is it?
Look, I was going to say it's all of your face.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you just don't want it in your face. Like, you're so in love with the person you with.
I've never been that.
You don't want to see another one. And then you go to these lit parties and they got all these damn props and shit. They got like little tents and shit, little baby tents. They pulling people in the tents. They doing all kind of tricks. Right. They got 3 people and 1 woman and all this kind of stuff.
I get what you're saying, Alexa.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved.
I get what you're saying.
I just don't want that.
You don't
particularly care to go to one either. If I'm with somebody, I don't particularly care to see somebody.
I'm not trying to do any of that. But if someone wants to do that and they're able to do that in their lane and how they want to in their life, who are we to judge?
No, I
Yeah.
don't
You know what I'm
judge.
saying?
I
Just
don't
talking
judge.
about
I'm
us.
just
saying
saying for
that
me.
you should just do this
No.
just in a honeymoon stage.
No, I'm saying
Yes.
for me personally, if I'm in a honeymoon stage and I am like really feeling somebody, I don't even want to be around it. I don't
You
want to
want to
see
be
it.
entertained.
I don't want
Like,
to touch it. I
She
don't
don't
want
want to
you.
trick it up.
Yeah, I don't want you looking at everybody in the crowd and then you point to me and next
Seeing
thing you
them
know you
strippers, I wouldn't care about.
with
But-
your little stuff all in front of me. Like it's not going to entertain me.
See,
It's not
and
even
you
gonna
know what's so
entertain me.
funny? That wouldn't bother me. But if he was hanging out with another female one-on-one continually more than me, and she was just a friend, yeah, I'd have a problem. Now that I would have a problem.
So what needs to change is she needs to get paid.
Right.
Mm.
And then she needs to answer to me. You know?
I'm glad you said that, though. I'm glad you said that.
You know?
Look, that's the realness.
Everybody's different. Everybody's
Real.
different.
Hey, let me ask you a
Yeah.
philosophical question. This is like a little off. What is the difference between a prostitute and somebody who does porno?
Nothing really.
Because they're both getting paid. One is illegal, but the other one is not legal, but it's done on camera. But they're getting paid for sex still,
it's really
though.
nothing.
Just a question. I'm not trying to make a point or nothing. I just thought about the question. What's
Wait, what's the difference between a what?
a prostitution and somebody who does porno?
I mean,
Not even a
there's
star,
not.
just
They're
a
both
porn person. Because there's a lot of people that do porn
There's nothing.
that are not
I
stars.
mean,
Yeah, but one's illegal and one's not. Why is that? You think?
I don't know.
You know, because both of them are getting paid for sex,
Taxes.
but one's on camera.
Control. Yeah,
Taxes.
Okay, all right, that's a good answer. Taxes.
Because when it's on camera, you can tax that ass.
Right. That's probably the right answer.
No,
But
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When
it's
they
like
figure out how
marijuana.
to properly tax prostitution, it's going to be 100% legal.
no
Watch.
representation without taxation. All right.
Well,
Now,
another
what's the
difference.
difference between a hoe and a prostitute?
Well, hoes I don't think get paid.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that would be, what's the difference between them? Broke mentality.
All right.
Well,
So it-
so the second difference is
Representation.
Representation. Wow.
I'm not gonna say all prostitutes, but I would say prostitutes that are on that stuff. Listen to me though. Listen to I'm just
What
saying.
stuff? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm great saying.
You know what a
So it's like
stuff is.
prostitute on that stuff, like drugs or they on meth or dope or whatever, cocaine,
Right.
crack.
It's the same shit I'll be saying.
There's no
Pills.
there's no means of protection outside of you protecting yourself. Whereas so in the industry, although people may probably lie on the porn industry, people may lie, but they're supposed to have that documentation, like I'm free and clear of whatever this is, and they get tested and checked for AIDS and all that type of stuff. If you go on Raw Dog and all that type of stuff like that, so that's just another difference between the two.
And then also, you got to think about
I don't
the fact
know.
that
I don't know
some
the
people-
ins and outs of the industry enough to talk on that, but that's gotta be scary.
It's not always about just, do you like sex? Do you need money and all this? Sometimes it's mental and emotional. I'd have met some ladies that had straight up beautiful homes, paid, 2-3 divorces, getting hundreds of thousands a year from alimony, but got so mentally messed up because they were married to people that were messing with prostitutes. And guess what? For whatever reason, that's what they wanted to do. And I'm talking about did not need the money at all. Did not need the money at all. I've had a couple of clients like that, because I've had a couple of high-end clients as a makeup artist. And I'm like doing makeup for these what you would call MILFs, older women, getting ready for dates. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the are you doing this? Because I know you don't need no damn money. I'm looking at your account, like I got access to your shit. So I know you don't need the money. Single, don't give a damn about their life. Kids gone, husband gone. So I'm like, you don't give a damn if you catch something? See, that's what I'm thinking. What if you catch something? They so fucking bitter and shit, they don't care.
Well, I mean,
got millions
I
of
don't like.
dollars,
I don't
millions
like
of
the
dollars, and
stereotype,
will sleep with somebody for
of
100.
that because, like I said, at the end of the day, when you get up and you are working with people that do have high money, they do things just for shits and giggles. I mean, let's not forget,
Wow.
pedophile rings, what I'm saying, and things like that. They just sexually like what they like, and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And I think that's, we like to put labels on that kind of stuff when people just.
I don't think they like it all the time. I think they need counseling. Now, pedophile shit, some of them they need counseling.
Yeah, but something about that makes them feel good. Now, yeah, what I'm saying? It could be fucked up. It could be this or it could be that. But at the end of the day, they're doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people just do what the fuck they want to do. And putting labels on it or trying to like even understand it sometimes is like, you're going to hurt your own head.
I mean,
people do stupid shit because they like to do that stupid shit.
I'm not trying to understand it, but I just want people to know that it's out there.
Anything like, for instance,
there's people that will pay you hundreds of dollars to take pictures of your fucking feet.
Right.
Feet?
Yeah.
Literally feet. Literally, like, damn. Bills get tight. I be like, damn, I ain't got no ugly feet. Maybe I need to pay my toes and
it's out there.
Why would you judge someone that's selling pictures of their feet though, or say that they have a problem? Because
no, I'm not trying to reject them. I'm just saying that a lot of society will think it's taboo.
It's weird.
Or it's weird. And
people just like what they like. I promise you, a very small section think that's weird. It's not a multi-billion-dollar industry for no reason. Trust me. People that say that they don't like that shit, they're lying. You know what I'm saying? Most people just like the guy that talking about, I don't like girls with BBLs, but love it and do it. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people out there that will say to your face, I don't like to fuck dogs, but fuck dogs.
Right. Yeah, because
they know $1 billion corporation to fuck dogs. So we ain't there yet. Are we breaking down the barriers for that?
I mean, I'm just being realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about that stuff, like like it's taboo and it's this and that and the other. Whatever, man. People is sickening and they is out there.
Well, I'm you sorry. Can't even call it sickening because, like you just said,
it is sickening.
Well, you can't. You just said. Who are we?
I'm talking about animals.
Oh, well, yeah, animals, yeah. But like when it comes to like,
but there is still
when it comes to feet,
millions of
people think that's taboo.
Well, my thing is this: if you're not touching no kids, and for whatever reason, something in your brain ticks off when you see pretty feet. Shit. Sock it to my pocket. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like, you want to see some pretty feet shit. If it's that, like, long as you ain't hurt nobody, look, I don't know how your brain works, but shit, come on. Yeah, you ain't hurt nobody. You ain't hurt nobody.
Oh, they call them fetish. People have different fetishes.
Everybody has a fetish. Yeah. Exactly.
It wouldn't be called a fetish if it was natural for everybody to do it.
There's people that got financial fetish. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's
financial fetish. Literally, they get off on people taking their money.
Oh, I don't get off on that. That's called deals.
No, I'm just saying. No. Google it.
I don't have a fetish for that.
Google it. I know a dominatrix that has her slaves that just give her money.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
It's called electric bill. It's called the water bill.
All you do is just
the mortgage.
Yeah, you cuss them out. They get off on getting my money. You cuss them out and you tell them. Sockets in my pocket.
I've cussed out that electric bill before.
I want to know what y'all fetishes are. What's your fetish? What's your fetish, Chris? What's your fetish?
Wow.
How you just gonna ask a fetish on live?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna.
Erica, come on.
This ain't what the subject is about. You switching up on us.
I'm gonna tell you off. I'm gonna tell you off camera.
I mean, we judging people.
You can't just ask somebody like that on camera now. Come on.
Exactly.
I know. I'm transparent. I'm gonna tell y'all though.
I'm gonna tell you now. I ain't saying nothing on camera.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You talking about, look, everybody always love to talk about everybody else until it's time to talk about themselves. And
exactly. Yeah.
You talk about yourself because you're around people you trust. But now we're talking about fetishes that people Like,
I just want to know. I'm nosy. I'm gonna
I
ask.
tell
they
y'all,
got dating
camera.
sites for feet. And as a matter of fact, I got like 2 or 3 people that's like, you got nice hands and feet. If you would just take a couple of months and really just pamper your hands and feet, if you pamper your hands and feet, because I'm a hard worker. Like I do hair, I paint, I cook, But there was like, if you just take a couple of months and pamper your hands and feet, you wouldn't have to work again. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you crazy? But then I Google it.
No,
Why would that be crazy?
They give you game.
I'm just Googling. I'm Googling it. I'm just like,
so why
this
would that
girl
be crazy?
quit her job and is making $30,000 a month.
Man,
selling
look.
feet pics.
So why wouldn't, if someone says that you have the skill and the bone structure to do it, why wouldn't you do it? You think that somehow that's less than? Why?
It's not that it's less than. It's just that it just blows your mind, like that somebody has this type of money to pay that.
Or will pay that.
Or will pay it.
For a body part. I understand, but I get it. I don't think it's weird, but
I guess that's just the type of money. When you got so much money, you just want to flush it. I guess you want to flush it.
Think about it though, in a way.
No, that's not the mentality.
Erica,
that's
think
the
mentality
about it this way. Of people that just are going to pay money to do what they love to do.
Do what they want to do.
I mean, you just think about it this way.
They don't have money to flush.
People go to a strip club, to watch a woman strip all the way down, but instead they will pay someone to just show one body part instead. It's not crazy, but when you think about it, it's like,
what's crazy is going clubbing every weekend for absolutely nothing and spending tons of money on getting dressed up, on clothes and makeup, and going to beg guys for drinks and not doing anything with your life. That's crazy.
Well, I think strip clubs is crazy.
I'm not like, you know what? No, I can't even say that now. You know what? Just remind me later on. I have a game story. Somebody in my family gave me some game. I can't say it online, but I'm saying somebody in my family gave me some game. I talk about the older people, the auntie stuff. Yeah. About that. People's fetishes are deep. And you don't know why, and you can't care why. You can't care why.
Exactly.
You
can't care.
And if somebody has a weird fetish, like they just want to see your damn feet, like in some shoes that they brought, they send some shoes to your P.O. box. You go get a pedicure and you take a picture of them, and next thing you know, you got $1,000 in your account. Like, damn.
Hey.
Let's leave this one.
Fuck it. It is what it is.
And let's get into the last story for tonight.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Newsflash.
All right. Unless you have been living under a rock or another planet, we're getting to the Chris Rock and Will Smith incident that happened at the Oscars Sunday night. More than likely, I can't say I'm not a little bit of a movie buff, but I'm not like a 5-star general movie buff. So, I don't watch every movie, but I know enough movies that, I can probably answer some trivia. But the Oscars really wasn't the first thing on my agenda. Probably hasn't been on my first thing on my agenda probably for the last 10 or some odd years, because it's just, it's kind of boring. I don't know. Anybody a movie buff in here that really watches the Oscars like that every year? You watch it like that? Okay. Cool.
I'm a movie buff because I write scripts. So I watch everything that come out.
Okay. All right. What about you, Chris?
Personally, do not. I do write scripts, but I'm just not interested in them people like that.
I'm interested in the art. To me, it's about the art. I love all competition shows, like even like the ESPYs and stuff like that. Because I want to see, about the craft, and people that do well at what they do. And I think it's cool to be like, okay, who did, cinematography, the costumes and things like that, because people work really hard to bring stories to life, and that is art, and that is beautiful. So I like to look at it from that aspect, not because I care who wins or who who does, or I'm into all these people's lives or even know who they are. I'm more about that film and be like, okay, yeah, that score for that film was amazing. And like, I love soundtracks. Like, I love movie soundtracks, you know, because the music and being able to capture the essence of a moment and the hurts, you know, those sort of things I like pay attention to. Because yeah, it takes a lot of skill and it does take a lot of time to do that, and people work really hard for that. So yeah, that's why it's interesting to me.
Okay.
And Erica, I will say this real quick. When I do see something that I find that's amazing, or how they did whatever, I will look that up in the credits or somewhere to find out who that person is. I would do that, but just the people out there acting and all that, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't watch TV or things like that, or
the
care too
independent
much.
films. Yeah, there's some independent films
Those
I don't
are
really check
cool,
out
yeah.
for.
Oh, they
But
go.
somebody got to tell me about it. Like, I'm not going to just like check out every independent film. If somebody tells me it's pretty good,
Watch Dust.
part of it, I might check it out. But generally, if it's not at the theaters, it's not a big box office film.
Watch Dust.
I don't leap into it. I got to get some reviews for it before I just like jump head on into it. But with that being said, that wasn't the main. Unfortunately, that wasn't the main story. The past 5 days, I've almost gotten burnt out. Just seeing stories about it. Erica, I think you've seen my post about it. No one is talking about COVID anymore. I thought I was tired of COVID. I don't want to curse it and bring it back, but damn, Ukraine versus Russia, no one talks about COVID. No one's wearing masks anymore. I'm looking at the crowd. No one has a mask. No one is 6 feet away. I don't remember none of these requirements being changed. And then Will and Chris, it's like everyone has forgot COVID exists. Like, it was just a couple months ago. It was still a pandemic, and now no one cares.
That's why the conspiracy theorists are like,
right. I care about the flu. I care about the cold. I still don't want to be near people that have the cold or flu or anything else, but it's like, it doesn't exist anymore. And it's amazing. But again, that wasn't the story. I'm going to play the video because in case there might be one person. One person
out here.
Just one.
Just one. You never know.
Just one.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Did you hear that?
That was
poor Lupita.
Greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
All right. I'll get into a music video or something like that. Okay, so the big question tonight.
Poor Lupita. Poor Lupita.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care about right now.
Alexa, you're going to be first to go on this. You got 2 minutes. Everybody got 2 minutes. And then
wait, who's the first?
You are, Boo.
Alexa, you're going to be first. The question is...
Oh, because my name starts with an A?
Hey.
Y'all going back to elementary.
Yeah, that's the reason. And you got your hair straightened out today, so that's the reason why.
Whatever.
So
here we go.
The question is, was Will Smith justified in slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars? Go.
Okay, so we're gonna say go. If you don't know this or not, I'm a very spiritual person. I don't care how much I turn up. I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I'm going to say yes, he was justified. You know why? Because I have a strong belief in karma. I believe all the players in this incident did certain things and put certain things into play to accumulate to this exact moment. I'm going to say he's justified, even if he gets reprimanded, even if they take the Oscar away, even if Chris Rock sues him, because something happened for the masses. And karma has been paid. and will continue to be paid. I'm going to say he's justified because he acted on his greatest impulse. And what is life except acting on your greatest impulse? This is probably the most alive he's been since he was born. So I'm going to say, live your life. Just know that there are consequences. It's not about if Chris Rock went across the line or not. He did the greatest thing in his spirit. And I can tell by his face, by everything, by the moment, that nothing would have stopped him from doing it. So with that said, I feel like he was justified. Now, what happens to him after that is also justified. It's also justified. But you got to understand that this is a school. Earth is a school. And that's why I try to tell people when I give my explanation, I'm trying to give it from a cosmic view. We in preschool, baby. We are in preschool. And you got to realize that everybody on Earth is in preschool. Once you accept that, then you accept this crazy shit. That's it.
All right. All right. Erica, I'm going to let you go next on this one. Was Will Smith justified in slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars? Go.
Will Smith was not justified in slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. Okay. Justification is, I don't even think is a play in this. People want to do that and apply that to this situation because there's going to be a right and there's going to be a wrong when there's so many things coming into play in this situation that people are not looking at. I think that a lot of times people cannot see the forest for the trees, and I think that this is definitely one of those situations. I do think he had a breakthrough, in emotional, mental, spiritual healing in the journey that he's been on, that I have been following. This is a breakthrough. I think a lot of positive things are going to come from this. Do I think that he's going to have the consequences for what he does? Yeah, everybody got consequences for what they do. And either he'll get away with it or he won't. But the consequences in his soul is definitely already still showing. You know what I'm saying? He has hurt and pain there, and he's going to be dealing with that. And the same for Chris. You know what I'm saying? There is some shame involved there. And I know that they have an actual personal relationship that goes back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So there's a lot of dynamics there. I don't think there's justification, but I definitely think there is definitely some understanding that needs to be happening.
Okay, good on that. Okay, you had some extra time, but all right, that's cool. I know you'll come back around. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, was Will Smith justified in slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars?
I was always taught that don't start it, but finish it. And he finished it. But justification, I'm not going to say he was justified for doing it. I feel that there was better ways to handle it. I would have told you, hey, I'm going to see you after the show. Whether that was him to issue an apology to her in front of my face while we there, or so we could throw these hands. How it's going to go. But Chris Rock also learned a lesson tonight. You can't, I always said that just because somebody puts you up to do something, that you don't have to do it. There's consequences behind that, bro. And his consequence was back in 2016, he was saying stuff about both of them. And up till now. But I'll just always say, how much can a person take? How much ridicule, how much public scrutiny can you take and hold it all in and be whole and be sane? It's not realistic. The energy that was behind that is going to set a new precedence out here now. I do believe that. I also believe that the writers, he put the writers on notice. He put presenters, comedians, whoever. Don't think that you're going to get up here just because you're a comedian. You tell jokes or you present something that you can't be touched. he's also talking about how people with money are used to doing what they want to do. Everybody's not going to set in place because you got money or you this, I'm that star, I'm whatever, blah blah blah. That precedent has been set now, and a lot of people truly wanted to do what Will Smith did
Okay.
in any public platform. So,
Talk
yeah.
about that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. My statement on this: no, I don't think he was justified in slapping Chris Rock. One thing I will say is these two arguments have been conflated. I don't think he was justified in slapping Chris Rock. I do think he was justified in defending his wife.
For sure.
There are extremes to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I understand as a comedian myself that jokes are subjective. Everyone doesn't have to like your joke. Everyone's not going to take your joke the same as the next person. Okay. Let's just say, Jada Pinkett was offended. It was written all over her face. And say Will Smith was offended, right? The same way that jokes are subjective, the slap and how someone reacts to the slap is also subjective. Chris Rock could have very well hit him back, shot and killed him. Then, because a lot of the argument I kept hearing was people were getting mad at other people saying, well, he's allowed to protect his wife and he should protect his wife. No argument for me here. But there's more than one way to protect your wife. Because the thing is, it's going to end up happening or it could happen for us regular folk. This is not a rich people problem. If you just go up and slap a comedian, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, if you try to come on stage with me, you're going to get hurt. You try to slap me. And it may not be a slap, it may not be a punch, maybe something more deadly. And the thing that may happen from that is, well, I'm just saying, the thing that may happen from that is one person's dead and the other person's in prison, namely me. Then who's going to protect you when they're both gone? So you have to think rational when it comes to that. You can't make such rash decisions like that because you can't really protect somebody when one's dead and one's in prison. You have to think about it. I know anger is a part of the emotion and you can't really think when you have anger behind you, but you can't just do anything you want to. It's not the Wild Wild West. There's a reason why laws are put into place.
The Wild Wild West.
Illegal, but assault is.
Yeah. Ooh.
One point about that.
Go ahead.
I went to a comedy show back in the day, and it was with somebody that I was with for years. I'm just gonna say that.
The person was a comedian, or you went with a person at the comedy show?
Yes.
Okay.
Happened to be in the very front. And it was a well-known comedian. And you know how they start with the front.
Give names.
Start with the front. So started saying shit, going across the thing. Got to the person I was with, trying to make a couple jokes. And I know the person I'm with. They're not going for it. So I'm just sitting up here praying inside my head, like, please let him hurry up and move on. The comedian did not want to move on. So, this is also back in my heyday. Okay. I ain't trying to pat myself on the back, but it was in my hey. So
Yesterday.
So, the joke was about why are you with him, basically, and the joke got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where, first of all, I was offended from the start. Because I'm just like, don't you got your own jokes? Why are you looking through the damn crowd? Don't you got your own regular jokes? Like, why do you got to look through the crowd? It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But when it got more and more and more, I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, this is not going in good. Because the person you with. And I'm just thinking, like, this motherfucker is going to get us kicked out because he's going to beat his ass on stage. It's the most uncomfortable feeling ever.
What ended up happening?
What ended up happening was I literally started praying in my head, and I think sweet baby Jesus listened to me because I was literally praying hard in my head. I was like, please don't let this come to a thing, Please don't let this come to a thing. Please, because I just felt like my heart started pounding. I'm an empath. I'm an empath, so I feel shit like 3-4 minutes before it happens. So I was just like, this could either go left or right. I know that. So I just immediately started praying, like, in my own head, like, God, please. You know, I'm just like in my own head for like 2 minutes straight. The whole time the comedian talking, I don't even hear none of his jokes. I don't even hear none of his jokes. But I just praying. Please don't let this go bad. Please don't go. Finally, the last thing the motherfucker says is something like, let me leave you alone because I think you crazy as a motherfucker. Something stupid like that. And, you know, everybody started laughing, which kind of eased it down and then went on. But honestly, not to pat myself on the back, it was them damn prayers. Because I tell you right now, I seen 2 different scenarios. I seen it. I seen 2 different scenarios. And I was just like, I don't want to be in this shit. I just want to come here and laugh. Until this day, I have anxiety about comedy shows.
Wow.
Till this fucking day, I got anxiety about comedy shows because of that shit.
It's funny you even mentioned that, Alexa, because back in the day, one of my boys back in Philly, he was a comedian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really tight with one of his cousins, and me and his cousin linked up, and we was like, and he told us, do not be late. And then I had locks, and you know, they were long, and
I'm trying to picture it.
huh? Oh yeah, I'm gonna send one to you so you can see what it looked like.
I had locks too one time too, believe it or not.
Yeah.
What?
I don't believe it.
Damn, I gotta see these pictures. I gotta see these pictures from both of
Hidden
y'all.
away, you'll never see them.
Oh yeah, I will.
But you know what's funny? But he told us not to be late, and we arrived like maybe 10 minutes late. And he was a host, but he also had his set. So when we came through the door and we was going to find our seats, and he was like, oh, he said, y'all want to come in here late, huh? And he was like, oh, he said, we got Millie and Vanilli. Don't you know it's true?
So he clowned y'all and said y'all was Millie.
He clowned. That was like I laughed about it because ain't nothing we could do. You know what I'm saying? But that was hilarious. I wish I had that on tape. There's something I would have forever as a. But that was my clown story by a comedian anyway.
I mean, that's funny you coming through the door. But imagine sitting in the actual front row.
Oh, it wasn't the front.
And then
everybody
the comedian is like focused in. Only thing you want them to do is just go away.
And the light shine. You know how
That's
they had the little pan light?
To do is just go the fuck away. Like move the fuck on to the next person.
And that's the comedian's thing, though, is that's their thing is just to go in on the crowd the whole time.
But the crazy thing is, I go in too. And the real thing is, if you like, honestly, if I was in that situation, like for instance, we're just me there with my girls, I would be talking shit back because actually I can bang with the best of them. Now I'm not a comedian, but I can clown. Oh, trust me, I can clown. I'm gonna find something on you, and everybody will laugh when I crack a joke on your ass. That's something that's in my blood. I had that shit since I was born. So I'm just saying I can always clown. But because I was in a situation with, a partner, I'm just trying to be the silent woman, just sitting here, just letting the shit
getting back
ride out,
the joke or whatever.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, let me clown this motherfucker. This nigga will never come back to this town if you want to clown, because clowning and being a comedian is 2 different things.
Not really.
They intertwine.
I'm about to say
they intertwine, but then you got people who will clown the socks off of you who are not a comedian.
D.L. Hughley does that all the time. That is what he's known for.
And that's me too. I would clown the socks off somebody who think they finna clown me because they don't know that. They don't know my history. They don't know that, I grew up with nothing but boys clowning 24/7 my whole entire life.
All right. Well, let's get into that then. Let's talk about that then, because that seems to be one of the discussions people are talking about, because they're saying Chris Rock was clowning on Jada Pinkett. Not talking about the past Grammys. He was too, but this particular joke where he called her, well, he said, "Can't G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it," saying it was alluding to her, she has alopecia. She lost her hair because of alopecia.
Wasn't even funny, actually.
Huh?
It wasn't even funny.
I don't.
The joke wasn't even funny.
An outdated joke. I get it, but I don't think it had anything to do with alopecia. I think it had to do with her being bald. I mean, from what I'm hearing, it said he didn't know she had alopecia. That's possible. A lot of people didn't know that. I thought it alluded to her being bald. But let's just say he did know that. Let's just say he did know she had alopecia, right? And he made a joke about her. Here's is my theory. So hear me out.
Theory being the operative word there.
Yeah, this is my theory. Well, no one knows because that's why it's called.
I mean, if you do your research, you know a little bit something.
Yeah, I haven't asked the question yet, Erica. Can I get the question first?
Erica and she about to write your research ticket.
Erica
write your research ticket.
I got receipts.
Well, I guarantee you don't have receipts on this because no, I do not think Will Smith was particularly mad at that one joke. I think it was a culmination of all the jokes that have been told through the years, and that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
You put that button. Push that button.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it was that one joke. Yeah. I don't think that joke was terrible enough for him to get that mad. I think that was just the end of it because he was joked on by Regina King and a couple other people throughout the show. They joked on the entanglement and all that stuff. And I've heard several people in their face talk about the entanglement stuff. They don't want to talk about it anymore, but they were joking about it to their face. And they just kind of laughed it off like, okay, I get it, that's cute. And you're talking about us again. I think that was a culmination, not just of jokes. I think there's a culmination of what he went through as a kid, seeing his mother get beat on by his father. He didn't feel like he could do anything. He felt helpless. I think all that was added up. And it was on a public forum on Oscars. I don't know how many people watched the Oscars, but I'm pretty sure it was a good amount. I think he felt embarrassment. He might have did laugh at it. I mean, I saw him laugh, but it could have been a nervous laugh. We don't know. But I think he did look at his wife and he was like, okay, I got to do something. I'm tired of this. I got to do something. And talking just ain't going to do it. And that's why he went up there and slapped Chris Rock like that. I think, and I also, here's another theory, whether we agree with me or not. I don't think it was more so for Jada Pinkett than more so it was for himself.
It was not. It was not for her. It was never about Jada.
Yeah, it was for him.
Okay.
For himself, yeah.
Oh, so you agree with me. See?
It was for him.
I don't want to disagree on that.
No, it's for him.
Oh my God.
It also goes to show you that
we're on the same page.
Like people. And I'll always say, so where's the accountability?
Are the stars aligned? Because it never happens.
Right.
Where's the accountability for the writers, man? Because they've been picking and digging and picking and digging. And at some point, the presenter is the one who's presenting it, whether he know it or not. And it gets to be too much. And as men, seriously. And I think I told y'all this before. That's why I don't joke about nobody's mama, and I don't joke about nobody's woman. If it's something personal between me and you, I'm gonna joke about you. I ain't saying about your kids, and I ain't messing with nobody's money. Those are things that you will get. Things will get you touched.
I'm looking at my brother.
For sure. So,
speaking of Will Smith, here comes his doppelganger.
We saw your picture.
Well, let me speak on that real quick before we
go ahead.
Move, because I think that there's some things that this situation, I think more than anything, more than arguing about the particulars of it, it really showed how people truly feel, not only about women, about Black women, about the masculinity of men, about what is a man and what is a simp, and not only that, about how we support each other. And I think that to me was the most disturbing thing. My
Speak on.
first
Okay.
reaction.
Let's see. Let's hear about the black women perspective. What did you hear about that?
Oh, just all the platforms, whether it was radio or, whether it's news, whether it's Facebook, because I was, looking at it all. Because when I like caught it right when it happened. And so, of course, I went to Twitter and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that real? Because, my first instinct was to like laugh. My first instinct was laugh. Like, that's hilarious because everybody thought it was a joke. Everybody thought it was a joke.
To that unedited
I
version.
think Jada even thought that was a joke because it wasn't like they had a little combo. No, he literally did just snap and went up there. Everybody laughed. Because that was the first gut instinct to laugh.
Right.
For everybody. And even when he first slapped him, because everybody like, was that real? Was that it? They have a personal relationship. They've had a personal relationship since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Chris had to be in drag for that show.
I knew you could put that.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I remember I saw it.
You talking about, years. The thing that really disturbed me is, let's just look at, nobody was looking at the history of all this. Will Smith has been dogged on since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
He has been
Rap
dogged
career.
on. Right. He had the first Grammy for a rap song. Parents just don't understand. The first Grammy. Was he celebrated by the African American community? No, he was not. He was pumped on.
I don't think it was aired, if I remember correctly.
Right. It wasn't. But nobody celebrated. Everybody always trashed him.
He was a nice guy.
I had a lot of people, a lot of people was trashing Jada. It's all Jada's fault. It's all Jada's fault. It's all Jada's fault. No, that man still lead his household because from the very first moment in time, Will Smith has been transparent about who Will Smith is and everything in his life. That is something that he led. Okay, don't interrupt. Do not interrupt.
I won't.
Okay, because I didn't interrupt none of y'all.
But I'm next. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm next.
Okay.
Okay.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What was that about? His whole life. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. Guess what? That boy been about that slapping life.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
He been about that. This is not him out of character. That's something that he's had to control his whole life. And there has been multiple moments in his life where he has not been able to control that. That is an instinctual part of who he is. There's one time a guy tried to kiss him as he was on the red carpet and slapped him. Give him a little bit slap. You know what I'm saying? That slap, it was very personal. He's on recording saying, I told him. Because in 2016, they were furious at what he said. So trust me, they came into the Oscars already amped up for Chris doing that. Because they had already had the conversation that they did not respect him talking about his wife. He had already told him, keep my wife's name out your mouth. He had already told him that. All right? They have a personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, it puts a different perspective on things. Not only that, every single song, how many times did we play the episode where he sits there and cries, why did he want me? Why didn't my dad want me? That resonated. Okay, resonated.
Like Will Smith.
Transparent.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm the first person to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant real life. I got you.
Just the two of us. The song he sang about, not being with his, son every day anymore. It was a song. It was a book. It was a cartoon. You know what I'm saying? That man has always been transparent before Jada was fully ever in the picture. He has led that family into being transparent. And what happened over the years as his two kids came in the spotlight for their own things, well, guess what? They've been raised all their whole life by their mom and dad. Be just who you are. Be who you are. We're going to support you, even though they didn't like it. Will always said he didn't like some of the things that Jaden did or some of the things that Willow did. He's always been very, very honest, but they still supported their kids. So when people was making fun of Willow because she looked like Will and she did not look feminine and she was wearing her hair all crazy, what did they do? They got her on Sesame Street with her little song, I Whip My Hair Back and Forth. And that impacted a generation of girls to embrace their hair. That has always been who this family has been. And guess what? It's worked because they are filthy rich and they are successful. So, yeah, Jada gets on the red table, right? And it wasn't even about their own personal life. It was about women just being honest about woman stuff. But people attacked what was going on in her personal life, even though it was going on with Will too. And they just said, you know what? We've been transparent about our whole life. Let's just be brave and do it now. So people use that and try to bash her on that. And it talks about how, and it shows how people blame women for men's decisions all the time. Like, stop. Will did what he did because Will did what he did. Now, it wasn't about her honor. It was about her being hurt in front of his face and his honor and the honor of his family and his woman, not because she made him do nothing. There was no little powwow for him to go and do that. All right. Now, when he came back and she gave him love, that's what you do. When your partner fucks up, you give them love. You give them support because y'all going to deal with it when y'all get home anyway. But at the end of the day, yeah, he lost his cool and he fucked up. But at the end of the day, we all have. I know I have so many times. And that person that loved me and support me, even if I fucking important in public, guess what? They're going to support me in fucking public and we're going to handle it in the back end, which they've always have done, even when people have trashed them. People always trash solid couples, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter how much you have, because people want that too. And when they see something they can't have, just like we talked about the men talking about shit about women that they can't get, but still wanting them, that's exactly what that shit is. And not only that, it speaks to how men blame women, just like Adam. Oh God, it's the woman you gave me. You know, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say that because you same men that are out here talking mad junk about Jada, calling her out her name and, oh, she embarrassed her man. No, and Will embarrassed himself.
Yeah.
Take some accountability for your lives. It's not the woman in your lives that make you do what you do. It's you who make you do what you do. Stop enabling each other. Take some accountability and ownership like Will Smith did, right? Because we always know that's what he does. That's what he has done independent of Jada the whole entire of his career. He has always taken accountability and ownership of his mess. Even though he did not give names of the female he did smashed, he definitely got on the red table and be like, yeah, I've been smashing women out here. And everybody knows because it's been in the tabloids all the time. People would have, oh, Will smashing her, Will smashing her, Will smashing her. It's been in the news. What, y'all forgot? You know?
Yes,
Will
they
has
did
been,
forget.
It was
Will
selective
has been
memory.
trashed.
And I'm away from my turn, but yes, they did forget.
Right. They've been trashed.
They did.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Love didn't make him do that. His own pride and his own ego made him do that. And her, as a lovable woman, she ain't going to put him on blast. Y'all can say whatever you want about Jada. She has kept and helped heal that family together. She made it to where Will Smith's ex-wife and her did not get along. They trashed each other. But she's the one that brought healing to that relationship. And Sheree will say that. You know what I'm saying? She's a stepmother to his oldest child, but she let the mother deal with how she's going to deal with their son, Chris. She's always respected that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Will has always led his family. The reason why they're transparent about what they do, the reason why they go after goals and try to break the mold is because that's what Will Smith has been doing his whole entire career. But all you showing me is how you talk about your friends, about how you talk about your friend's wife, how you talk about, you know what I'm saying, how you kick people when they down. You kick people when they down. Shame on y'all. You know, because all you doing is showing your own character. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a problem with that because it's not about Will Smith. It's about how we in our own culture, when one of us fell, oh, we the first. Punch him, kick him. You know, you this, you that, you this, you that. Man, listen, that man is succeeding. He will continue to succeed no matter what happened to him.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But what's in your heart? When your friends is down and out, you talking about them, you kicking them when they down. You know, you talking junk about females. You know what I'm saying? But yet you out here pimping those same females, trying to be around those same females, using those same females that you all dogged about. You know what I'm saying? I saw one guy, and it, like I said, it's just like you see these people, and it's like, man, he's sitting here talking all about how Will done hurt the culture and this and that and that and that and the other, want to be all righteous. And I know for a fact you supporting a man who date rapes women, you know what I'm saying, and you know it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to sit here to judge this celebrity, you know, and tear him down like we all holier than thou. And I know half y'all out there do anything for money. Do anything for money. You know what I'm saying? When y'all be having all y'all photo shoots and promos and y'all got to pick people to be in, you picking good looking people, and you know what I'm saying, you may be talking trash about them, but that's the people you picking. You know what I'm saying? You do anything for money. You do anything for clout. You know what I'm saying? And people could come and punk you. You know what's the real thing? The real reason why there's a lot of men that ain't liking what Will Smith doing? Because it gives a precedent of, dang, now my female's going to expect me to defend her. Ooh, and you know what? It is true. And this is true. Black men cannot defend black women the way white men can defend white women, because y'all will get hurt more for it. So it is definitely true. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But be real about that. Our society has made it to where our black men cannot defend us. And yeah, you cannot do what Will Smith did. Don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and mine.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
She'll tell you.
And yeah.
She'll tell you what I do.
You know, I am, and this is, let's just bring it to me personally. I have been in some really great relationships and been really, really blessed with men that have truly loved me. But I'm a fat girl, you know what I'm saying? And I say that just to keep it real, not because I down myself about it, because I know I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I know what I bring to the table. You know, it takes, I know, I do test men to see if they can be with someone like me that with these huge, massive breasts. Because yeah, anytime I walk into the room with you, yeah, people are gonna have something to say to you.
They're gonna be
your boys, yes, you know. And then yeah, they be like, and then there's a thing, there's a subconscious thing where people think girls like me don't deserve love because I'm not thin or not pretty, or because I do have these boobs, you know. And there is this, you know, someone could not meet me, not know me, never talk to me, and just start to slander me. I've had it happen so many times, you know, since I was a little girl, and I've had to learn how to accept it and roll with it. But one thing I do know is that the man I had to be with has to be used to criticism, because he's going to get it for being with a big girl like me and a girl that has big boobs. They're going to say something, and I can't be with a man that cares about what other people think about his life, because that's going to happen. And it has happened when people want to get at the men, because what happens when I am with a man, I elevate him. That's like my job. Whatever you do, I'm going to help you do better. And y'all know, because I do it to both of y'all. I elevate your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because I love men. I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love men. I love men so much. You know what I'm saying? Because I do understand and see what y'all have to go through. You know what I'm saying? But the number one thing that will happen to a black man that has found a real strong, successful love, no matter what type of woman that is, his woman gets attacked every single time, because that's what they're going to go for, because that's your heart, that's your soul. They can't maybe get you on anything else, but they're going to get you on that girl. You know what I'm saying? We see this time and time and time again. So we see it on the public stage and act like that's not a real thing in our society. It's a real thing in our society, because every single man I'm with is going to have one of his friends make a comment about my weight. You know what I'm saying? I've had it happen, and had to talk with my man and be like, hey, baby, you know, it doesn't bother me. I've learned how to roll it on. You know what it means? It just means we're doing something right. So when they do that, you got to be like, yeah, we got the juice. Don't you wish you had that juicy? And they do.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And they do. I had a relationship and me and the guy had broken up. Like we had just like broken up. But our little love affair was amazing. It was wonderful. And we were in public and we was out with it. And yeah, we were very, very attracted from it. Like he was like, because he was like way, way younger than me. So we would go out and about, you know what I'm saying? And like dudes that were my age would try to punk, like strangers would try to punk him, like dudes. And he'd be like, I'd never gotten challenged by so many men in my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? And that pressure we just get to, like, you know what I'm saying? Men that had never tried to talk to me or hit on me, all of a sudden saw me with him and had something to say, like, who is this? What you doing with him? He don't know nothing. He ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And he was extremely handsome, tall, just strong and just masculine, just great looking. You know what I'm saying? So we break up. He goes to his job and they start clowning him because they know, because his countenance is falling. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, we needed to, it had run its course, but we still got love for each other. You know what I'm saying? There's still a compassion and respect for each other on some level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they clowning him all day long. He in the sun, it's hot, and they clowning him. So he fine, whatever, because he lost his relationship. He lost that relationship.
Yeah, you vulnerable. That's hurt.
Well, then very much at the end they talking about, yeah, that's why you shouldn't have ever been with that fat B anyway.
Wow.
They talk about he lost it, that he broke a machine that only a machine can break. That he found one of the guys later and beat it. And like I said, I didn't have anything to do with this. I didn't know. They was calling me and telling me. You know what I'm saying? That's how they got him. This is a regular thing. This is a common thing. So you see this play out on a real stage and want to act like it's not real. Like every single time, you know what I'm saying? Like men see another man happy with a woman and getting that there's something in here that's a little bit jealous. Come on now, y'all know how y'all men are. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Not y'all men per se, but you know how men are. You know how certain things are. You know what I'm saying? Some dude that you think don't deserve a baddie and he walk in the room with a baddie.
Okay. Right. I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know. Y'all don't think that's a part, because that has always been, because Jada is bad. Y'all remember in the 90s? Man, Jada Pinkett, and everybody had something to say when she chose Will Smith. Like, man, you could have had Tupac, and yes, they had a very real love connection.
I don't think guys were saying that though.
Yeah, they were.
I think mostly women were saying that.
No.
Well,
like I said, a lot of men were being like, why she with Will Smith? Just like they be doing about Future and Russell.
Well, you mean like when
Russell's a simp, Russell's a square.
Well, that's different.
It's not different. The mentality is still the same.
I mean, it happened to me.
Do that a lot because
it happened to me, Erica, for real.
Let's think about Pepper from Salt and Pepper. She said she had a chance to date Will Smith. But what did she say the reason why she wouldn't date him? Because he seemed like such a nice guy. That's usually women who say that. That's not men.
Yeah, and that is true. I mean, there's women say it too. Yeah, women say it too. But
I can see both ends.
A lot of men trash Will Smith. Like Will Smith has never had support, overall support from African American males. He just hasn't. So they're talking about what they would or they would not do, or he slapped Chris because he couldn't slap nobody else. No,
that's crazy.
That was personal, and he just snapped. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that he did believe he snapped.
I believe he snapped. He just snapped.
Well, let me ask.
And he's had animosity towards Chris for a while.
Let me ask this question of all y'all. So, because that was one of the main things people were talking about too, was the protection part. What does protection look like to all y'all? When you're protecting your woman, somebody, let's just say we put you in the same scenario as them. What would protection look like to you, Chris?
I'm just going to say protection looks like to me is the fact that I'm not going to have another man or group of men to disrespect her or disrespect me. I'm gonna call you out right where it stand. Um, that's been a history only, and a lot of this happens because I've grown to be a protector from, as from when I was younger, when I was small, from my sisters to my cousins, my nieces, whatever that is. But I've seen things happen because I was in a position where I wasn't when I was younger, not to be able to protect, even with dealing with racism. So I feel like I have to be in the forefront or let people know that your type of behavior or you trying to do something to me or her or trying to hurt us, that's not going to happen. Um, you know, um, Protection, or I feel, is something is natural, it's instinctive when you love somebody and you care about somebody. You don't want anybody to hurt or be um, taken advantage of, taken for granted. Um, you want them to feel safe, secure, feel whole when they with you, and vice versa. Um, it's really a lot, man, with that. Like when you're talking about what does protection look like for you, but um, a lot of it to me, I'm just going to say, is just security. It's making sure that she feels safe with me. Um, Knowing, protection also looks like too. If she has to handle something and I'm there, let her handle it. I'm gonna let her handle that too. Like somebody, like I said, if I get up to go to the bathroom or somebody's trying to holler at her when I went to the bathroom and I come back, she was like, "No, that's me. That's my man. Goodbye, peace. See you later." You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a joint effort sometimes when you talk about levels of protection. Um, I'm just at a loss of words because that's it's big, it's huge, bro.
You know
Ladies,
what protection
it's
is to
huge.
me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to keep it real and 100%. All right. We had that show a couple weeks ago, and the Lizzo show. And oh my God, that was such a hard night for me. You know, and like I said, I know you guys didn't know, at the time I was being, actually harassed on the show and through public media, through emails on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, just, on online harassment. And super, super hard. And I didn't like talking about stuff about weight. It is a sensitive subject to me. And I had to do that, with people that I really didn't know very well, and, you know, throughout the whole time, what was Red doing? Red was blocking them people while trying to run the show, blocking them. And not only that, he was taking screenshots and taking names. What happened after the show? After the show, I'm on the phone with Red, and I'm crying. How long did I cry for, Red?
The
I
entirety of the
swear,
conversation almost.
almost the entire conversation. You know what I'm saying? And but on the show I didn't. I had to perform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that night, that was protection. I still had to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? I still had to be cool, calm, and collected, and not talk about right. That's a good point, Aaron. Um, I still had to perform. I still had to do, my job. And it was very hard because when you are in a situation when someone is attacking you and you cannot attack back, oh gosh, it makes you feel so even more helpless and defenseless. And yeah, I really wanted someone to protect me against what was happening, and I didn't have that. But Red don't know me. He don't know none of my situation. He just knew that I was stressed out and knew that I did not want that interaction. I didn't have to tell him that. You know what I'm saying? But as someone that understood what I was going through and how that hurt me, took the action that he could. And yeah, we stayed professional. We stayed on point. And yeah, I have all that evidence to take in front of the judge. You know what I'm saying? That was protection to me for that night. And then, of course, listening to me cry for hours. because I don't have a quote unquote protector. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was protection for me at that point. It does vary for, others. I don't think that this slap was about protection, but she did feel protected because at the end of the day, it wasn't about her, but she is about him. I don't know if that really resonates with people, but she is a part of his kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So he was protecting his kingdom, and that was telling her, "You're a part of my kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You're part of me so much that when someone talks about you, they're talking about me."
That went a long way.
Alexa, go ahead.
And
I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't mean to interrupt.
no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
Finish.
Protection is if I tell you a man makes me feel uncomfortable, no matter what, that man makes me feel uncomfortable. And it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I could be in my feelings. I could be wrong, but teach me and guide me. But don't laugh me off or don't ignore me. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you that guy wants to sleep with me and he's probably going to be disrespectful and I don't want to be nice to him anymore, listen to me. Listen to a woman's intuition. That's protection. I think that's protection. I don't need my man to go out there and go to jail for fighting every man. I don't want that. But if you listening to my intuition and be like, I don't feel comfortable and I don't feel protected in this situation, could you handle it for me? Could you take care of that for me? Because I don't want to handle that. And then him being like, okay, yeah, and not putting me in that position, be like, okay, I got it, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
If I say, you know what, that situation makes me feel threatened. That female makes me feel threatened, and I could be wrong, but there's something just don't feel right about it. Trust my intuition that I'm a part of you and that I'm not making shit up. And if you trust me and if you love me, you protecting me by honoring that, I don't want to go to that place tonight or I don't want to be around them people for whatever reason. When people call me names, I'm saying not only do you not call, defend me, but you make sure they know to keep my name out their motherfucking mouth.
Alexa, go ahead. I know you had something to say.
Okay, so the only thing I want to say is this. Please take this with a grain of salt. But I'm saying I know a few things about the pool that celebrities have, okay? They have certain pool. And they will pay millions to get something scrubbed immediately from the internet. I know this for a fact. So this is what I'm saying. I feel like what Will did was about him because honestly, I have some insider information. That nigga been slanging that dick for years, okay? And
Yeah,
That's well known, though.
Jada
been
has
known.
Jada has hid him though.
Mm-hmm.
Jada has hid him.
Really?
And so my thing is that the whole everybody like the whole August Alsina thing, like that ain't nothing but a drop in the puddle. And what people need to realize is that
Yeah, we
she
don't
has
know
been
that.
hiding him, letting him keep his pride, and also keeping her pride for years and years and years and years and years. And I mean, she even alluded to it a little bit in the Red Table Talk. She alluded to it.
They say they have an open relationship.
You could tell it came out a little bit. She was trying to hold it down, but she was like,
She kept a lot of things under wraps.
"You
He's
had a
the
lot."
transparent one.
She basically told him
He's the
like, "Look,
transparent
you
one.
had a lot. Don't come for me." But they got an agreement because you got to keep a man's ego, you got to keep a man's pride, you got to keep like even with the Jay-Z and Beyonce thing, you could hear right in her lyrics. She basically let it out that he had been cheating.
She wrote a whole album
And
about
she
his
was
affair.
basically like, now I'm the one who's cheating. Stop interrupting my grinding. I can't believe he let that lyric slide. The truth is that these dudes do 10 things, and then when their wife do one thing in response,
Over.
when it was one thing in response, they go crazy. And that's what happens. And I'm gonna tell you from experience too. Hell, I'm divorced. I've been in long-term relationship. I ain't know one of these damn, 3, 4, 5 months. All my relationships have been long-term. So I'm telling you right now, these dudes do 5 to 10 things. And when you finally do one, they lose their fucking breath. They lose their breath. because they don't expect you to ever do that shit to them. so basically,
You don't do that to
this is
me.
what happened. This is what happened with Will Smith, and now you publicly humiliated. But see, God sees everything, and Karma got everybody's address. Karma got everybody's address. Don't ever think that just because you got a solid chick who loves you so much that she forgive you and forgive you and forgive you. Don't ever think that shit will never come back and swat you on the motherfucking face. Don't ever think that shit will never happen, because one day it will.
For sure.
One day it will. And when it happens, you got to take it like a man. And what happened was Will had to take it like a man. He had to take it like a man. But of course, he was still angry inside. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
That happens is when you are on the path of spiritual growth and you start to come like into yourself, what happens is you start to heal yourself, you start to grow. And we've seen this in them, you know, in these past couple of years when they've just been authentic and they start to heal and they start to grow and they start to become okay with themselves. The next stage of healing is you got to start interacting with other people. So you get to that point where of self-love and self-realization, which is where he's at. Like he just started to like, you know, he had that quote, you know, my life is an experiment in unconditional love. Unconditional love is going to be challenged all the time. So all of a sudden he said that, he put that out in the universe. And I promise you, the moment you say unconditional love, the universe says, oh, really? Let me see.
Challenges.
And then you will get challenges. That's just the way it is. Do you really want what you want? That's why he quotes The Alchemist so much. Whenever you ask the universe for something, the universe will conspire to give it to you. But it ain't free, boo-boo. It ain't free. So he
all I'm saying is he had it coming.
He had
this challenge. He definitely had this challenge.
And the whole August Alsina, everybody like
they both agreed on it.
Well, everybody's always talking about why is he defending her?
Why is he defending her?
That has nothing to do with him.
She cheated.
That's not relevant.
No, well, I'm just saying, no, it is relevant because
that is not relevant.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish my point. So my point is, everybody is saying, why is he defending her because she cheated?
That don't.
No, let me finish though. The truth is, she, as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother, and also as a entertainer, decided, let this man keep his ego. Because when I tell you, it has been more than 10 times when it was actually confirmed. Okay? So you're talking about years and years and years and years and years of shit going on, and this shit go down. He knows that. She knows that. They can pay millions and millions and millions of dollars and get it scrubbed from the internet. Just like Beyonce gets bad pictures scrubbed from the internet. Okay? She gets bad pictures scrubbed from the internet the day after they happen. They're scrubbed. Okay? It's a company that does that. They will scrub them the next day. So you can get shit scrubbed if you're willing to pay the price. So I'm saying you did all this, you did all that. He did that for him. He did not do that for her.
That I agree with. Because
at the end of the day, like the people who really, really followed him, they know what's really going on. They know it. And then even in his book, I got it on my Audible right now. I've been on subscribed to Audible for 4 years now. Okay? And as soon as Will Smith's book came out, I pre-ordered it. It was already on my pre-order. So when I listen to it, I'm telling you right now, he always had that thug mentality, like that's what she wanted because of Tupac. Because of he wanted that. But you know, just like in his show. I mean, he literally wrote the show and you know, he really produced it. That was part of his real life. He was getting chased home and stuff like, you know, that was real shit. He put a lot of his real life into that. And so honestly, like that was his moment to be like, fuck it. I done made my money. I got my family. My wife is successful. My kids are successful. Let me do some dumb shit because guess what? I can pay for it.
And still ain't happy.
I can pay for it. And at the end of the day, he can pay for it.
You can pay for it.
He can pay whatever Chris Rock is going to sue him for. He can pay it.
He ain't gonna sue him.
He's not gonna sue him.
Well, even if he don't, They're going to come up with agreement. I bet you they will make money off of this. Mark my words.
Oh,
Mark
for
my
sure.
words. They will make money off of this situation, either together or separately. This is show business. This is show business. They're going to make money off of this.
Okay.
But the whole
As
thing
they
is,
should. Why not?
but exactly, I would.
Yeah,
But
that's
but
somebody to the stream
my
right
thing
there,
is that don't victimize. Don't victimize everybody.
How you doing, Aaron?
Don't victimize. Oh, hey girls, yeah, I didn't even see nobody was on here. I don't victimize Jada, Will, nobody. Just realize that when you got that much money, you can make anything disappear. So it's not like, oh, Will is protecting this nasty hoe. Like he done had
Wow.
10 plus affairs that they already scrubbed from the internet.
It's not relevant. They both have. It's not a fair if they both agreed with it.
Well, I don't know what you would say agree.
But a lot of guys do think
because
that
you
way.
know
A
what?
lot of guys think
Agreement
that
comes
Jada is
afterwards.
tearing him down.
Agreement comes
I agree.
after you've done it like 3 or 4 times and you realize that this is who
He
I'm married
recommended
to,
it though.
but you want to keep your family. And then you say, well, damn,
Yeah,
I
Will
need to come to an
has been
agreement.
leading
That's
his family
agreement.
all along.
That's an
Will is the
agreement.
boss in his house, and they will tell you Will is the boss in that
When
house.
they first got together, trust me, there was no agreement. She came along afterwards, like, do I really want to shatter this shit? Or do I want to keep it? You have to compromise.
But she
Yeah, I'm
wasn't.
gonna keep it real.
She
If I was
wasn't for
married to
having a
Will Smith,
traditional relationship.
if
from
I was
what
married to Will Smith,
heard
I would
first.
agree too. I would agree too. Because at the end of the day, you have to build something.
Well, the only difference is, I mean, I don't think it was because necessarily they were just like protecting each other as far as affairs is concerned. That was a thing August Alsina released, and it's like they had to talk about
I had to address it.
Right.
Yeah, because he made a whole
exactly.
song trying to profit off of it. So it's like
Mhm.
the noise
had
kept
no
getting
choice,
loud. So it's
yeah.
like we got to talk about it, you know. So it
But
wasn't.
not at first.
That or be hypocrite. And
They didn't have that
to be
at
real.
first.
Well, we
They
got off a little
adapted
bit
it.
from
They
the
adapted it
protection part.
because it was either that or get divorced.
They didn't have to get divorced because of it. They were already getting ready to leave before that. And then, you know, that's why Will gave permission to August, according to them anyway, that he could do whatever he want with her. They were getting ready to leave anyway. And they ended up
Have you
working
been
on
following
it.
them from the very beginning? Because from the very beginning, they tried to be like a regular couple.
And it didn't
And
work.
then BS started popping up. And then next thing you know, they started going on to these interviews, saying these little things that pretty much got scrubbed from the internet. They were saying these little things, basically alluding to the fact that they were going to be in an open relationship. I mean, they got Will on camera saying, sometimes I just need to fuck another woman. They got Jada on camera saying some bullshit too. So basically, they would have been divorced after like 2 years after they had the first kid. But they decided.
I want to hear what Aaron has to say.
They decided. They decided that they were going to stay together.
Okay.
No
the question
matter
was supposed to be, what does protection look like? I don't think we hit that part on that. But let me say something right quick. What I think about what happened at the Grammys, not the Grammys, the Oscars, whatever.
Oscars, yeah.
The Oscars, yeah.
They're both boring. But as far as protection, again, I think we're almost in unison that we don't think that Will did it particularly for Jada.
Oh, no.
And I think this point I'm trying to point out kind of points to that, right? That, you know, I wish he did what he did at the end of that act. I wish he said, keep my wife's name out your mouth first. And if Chris proceeded to continue with the jokes, the chips fall away, they were like, you know, then he slapped, whatever. I still wish he wouldn't have to slap, and then all that shit happened, but whatever. But because he did go up and slap Chris Rock, unfortunately, what he was trying to prevent, he exacerbated. More people now are talking about his wife and him and his family than if he just went and said, hey, not funny. That's not funny. Stop talking about my wife like that. Or maybe if he had went up on stage and took the mic and said, My wife has alopecia. This is not a joke that just particularly funny to me. Or if he had took him out back, or if he won his Oscar, like I like to talk about the joke that Chris Rock had made about my wife earlier. He would have made Chris Rock feel that small if he did that instead. To me, it made it worse. That's not what protection to me actually looked like. He made it worse on Jada because now this is all we're talking about. Because the crowning achievement would have been the Oscar win. Like if you were to go down 100 articles about I'm about to say Grammys again, the Oscars, people are not talking about the win. They're not talking about his great acting. They're talking
I don't
about
really think that.
He specifically told him not to do it before.
Doesn't
He
matter.
specifically told him not to do it before.
I don't care what he
I
told
think
him.
people
I'm
would have
caring about
criticized
the
him no
He
matter
had to keep
what.
his word. He had to keep his word. He specifically
No.
told him not to bring it up again, and he
Bring
did.
up, no, Alexa, that doesn't excuse him still going slapping the person. Doesn't excuse it. He still is in control
I
of his
think
own
people would have
actions.
criticized him
It's
no matter
still-
what.
Anyway.
He did, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, what to?
He told
No,
him
not the same way. I'm
specifically,
saying
don't
if
do
he
it
went
again,
up
and he did
and
it.
I'm saying if he went up and said what he said, well, if he went up and talked about her alopecia,
People would have
man,
criticized
it's not
him.
funny versus
People would have
slapping him.
criticized him.
They
People
would
still
have criticized, but it still
heavy.
wouldn't have been
I
exacerbated
mean, because
this
that's
bad.
been the MO. People have been very critical.
When you tell
of Will
somebody
Smith his whole
specifically not to
career.
do something, and they do it, you feel like they're trying you. Now you're trying me.
Doesn't
because
matter.
he
I don't
actually
care.
said it. He
I
actually
don't
said,
care.
I'm
That
going to
doesn't
slap
give
you.
you the instance to go and slap somebody.
But he told him before.
I don't care.
He said, I'm
You
going to
said-
slap you if you
it
do it
doesn't
again.
matter.
He
It
did
doesn't
it
matter.
again.
So if he went ahead and shot him after he had told him don't do it, that would have been okay?
Well, it's like you're calling him on his word.
Don't matter. Would he have been okay if he had shot Chris Rock after he said
I
don't
think
joke on it?
these hypotheticals are super.
You're talking about a man on the night he's
I
getting his
don't
Oscars.
care. You
On
can't
the
go
night
and
he's getting
slap
his
somebody.
Oscars.
That's,
All right, hold
that's violence. You're talking about words versus violence. You still have to be in control of it.
You can't play with no man like that.
And you can't go slapping
And,
no man
and
like
you
that
know,
either.
and you know he's getting an Oscar, and him and his wife
don't know
is
he
sitting
getting
on
an
the
Oscar,
front
huh?
seat, and he told you if you say this again, I'm going to slap you.
He did,
And
he
what you
did
do?
not tell Chris Rock anything about he was going to slap
Oh
him.
no, yeah,
said
he
something.
did. Yes,
No,
he
he
did.
didn't.
He told him.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. He said
How do you know that?
specifically. I will
did
give
not
you the.
tell
I
him
will
that.
give you the clips. He said specifically.
Please show me the clips.
Okay, well, I will send them to you.
Uplift
But
him now if you got them now.
You know I
he
love
basically
receipts.
said, if you
know he's
bring
gonna
up,
bug you. I'm gonna bug
if you bring up my wife again,
I'm
I'm
slap
going
you.
to
That's what he
slap
said.
you.
He said that.
He said that.
Okay, I want you to
That's
show him
why he had to
specifically
do
out of
it.
his mouth saying that. I want to
He
hear it.
did. He did.
Okay.
That's why he had to do it.
Receipts. We need.
I can't wait to see this. You're the
Aaron.
only one that got this.
So
Oh no, a lot of people been posting that.
No, there ain't nobody posted that. Go ahead.
Oh
Aaron,
yeah, yeah,
what do you
no,
have to say?
No,
What
he said
So-
keep my.
what
he
does
said this way
protection
back
look
in the
like
day.
to you, Aaron?
so the whole, consensual non-monogamy aside, all of that. Protection depends on the person, but protection at what cost? Because
Right.
just like y'all said earlier, Will Smith is now facing potential police charges. He's facing potential lawsuit. He's facing potential ban from the Academy for his actions. I agree with Red. Had he have given that warning first and then taken action, I think that it would have been much less severe. But protection at what cost? And like I said in the comments, we watched the Senate hearing with Dr. Brown Jackson. And I know from watching that trial, you see her husband and you see her daughters legit holding back, wanting to just mollywop the hell out of some of those senators asking those questions.
Yes.
But they protected her by letting her say what she needed to say.
Uh-huh.
And then you had the bonus. You had the extra player come into play with Cory Booker coming in to protect and defend, saying that this will not happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We will not let this happen. Now, it comes down to, what does protection look like for the person? Because let's be real. Some women love that thuggery and thug love of knowing that their man is going to beat the hell out of somebody who says anything against them. Some women don't look. But some women at the same time know that, especially Black men, as soon as you lay a hand on another person,
you're going to jail.
You going to jail. And can our man protect us in jail?
No.
Can they can they provide that same protection? Some just need the protection of knowing that by the time that this is over, like Dr. Brown Jackson's husband is going to be right there behind them to say, hey, that shit was hard. What you went through it like a boss, and I am here, because that's not going to happen because this was your arena. Others want the protection like Senator Booker gave, where they got up on the stand and said, just similar to what Will Smith could have done, hey, this was said about you, this was done to you, but let me tell you why it was not okay, and let me stand here and uplift you since you've been brought down. And then you have this situation with the Oscars, where I am not going to victimize or villainize anybody. What happened, happened. What ifs can go whatever way that you want them to. But I think it would have been more impactful had Will had said his piece, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. When he won, get up on stage, thank the Academy, but also acknowledge his wife and let her know that, hey, I'm using this moment since a moment of peace was taken away from you. Let me give you the peace and uplifting that you need right now.
Wow.
And you are right about that. My thing is, this is where I'm like, yeah, that would have been the right thing to do. And that is definitely how I model my life too, that calm is a superpower. You know what I'm saying? When I have someone that's coming against me, I'm not going to react. I'm not even going to interact with you. To me, you don't even exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's my MO. However, I do understand that if I had been berated time and time again for years and years and years, and especially by someone that I have personal beef with anyway for the same thing, years and years and years and years and years, and I'm going through, some sort of, growth period. Growth period in myself.
That's her protection.
I want a cat.
That's my little Black man protecting me right there. So
I want a little kitten. I want a cat so bad.
You have to understand that at some point in time, we are humans are going to snap. And that is where there needs to be a hardcore understanding. Will has been dealing with this stuff for decades, not years, decades. And he has never snapped until now. So you're talking about he's faced this sort of criticism and mockery of him on everything he has done since 1987, since 1988, and since 1989. Have some understanding, have some compassion, like Denzel did, like Bradley did, like Sammy A did. That is the mentality that we need to have for each other, because ultimately they're just celebrities and they have this or have that. However, that art does mimic life. We do have these situations in real life. If y'all really think, y'all know somebody that has gone through a hard time and has not been their best self. And what have people done around them? Doing exactly what we're doing. He should have done this. He should have done that. Well, he didn't. And he didn't because he's been berated time and time and time and trashed and time again by this particular person as well. There was something very particular there. And that's where you have to just be like, sometimes, man, you don't know what you would do in that situation. Let's stop fronting and act like we gotta, I would do this or I would never.
No, I'm gonna tell you, if somebody slap me, they're gonna get hurt.
Bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
On the spot.
You don't know what you would do.
Not later on. Not later on site. Yes.
You have not been underneath that pressure. You do not know. You are not on
I've
their
been
level.
in that
And so
pressure.
to judge them and say what you would and would not do, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
why
my
I
mentality.
won't victimize or villainize, because guess what? I am not Will Smith. I'm not Jada Pinkett-Smith. Have I been in those types of situations? Yeah. I've legit been in a situation where someone was making fun of me for something that I told them, don't pick on me about this. This is a sensitive topic. And when I tell you I rocked a grown man in his jaw, in front of others for it.
You gotta do what you gotta do, boo.
Sometimes you have to. Now, did I face
up.
the repercussions? Yes. But you never know in that situation when you've, just like you said, Erica, when you've been berated for something time and time and time and time again, and you've told others, drop it, leave me alone, don't do this, and you've not had that protection. Others around you, others within your community haven't protected you. You don't know how you're going to respond in the moment.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. You know what?
I come from all boys.
I
come from all boys.
When people feel like they can talk about my boobs and they don't know me. I hate it.
Okay, you know what?
See, I come from all boys, and they clown the hell out of me.
You know, do you think that stops people from doing it?
Let's get into that, Erica and Alexa. Let's get into that then. It's a perfect segue for comedians then, you know, because that's been the thing that's been talked about, like joking on people and not knowing their past.
Exactly.
And then how somebody may react. How can comedians go forward with this if that's the case? Because it's not like Jada Pinkett, of course, is a public figure.
Right.
She had a show talking about her head and alopecia and stuff like that. Everybody's not a public figure, and we don't know everybody's past. So what should a comedian do? Because that is a thing for comedians. Not every comedian, because different comedians have different style, but comedians do Jones on the crowd a lot.
Comedians
talk
just
about their hair, their face. Some even talk about handicap, and handicap people just laugh it off, like, all right, that's what I'm here for. Joke on me.
Not because they love it.
Should you not go to the show knowing that's their profession? That's just what some people do. Like D.L. Hughley is well known for that. Comic View, D.L. Hughley's not my favorite comedian, but that's one of the things people usually enjoy from him is him razzing on the crowd. And if like you go to the crowd, you can kind of expect that that's going to happen. And if you can expect that to happen, can you get mad at him for that? And Chris Rock is not really that type of comedian. That's why I've been telling people, like, he doesn't really razz on certain members of the crowd. Usually he is self-deprecating humor for him. He does little jokes here and there. But with that being said, if you do go to a comedian and you're in that arena that is known for, do you have the right to still get angry if you're in his arena?
Yes.
I grew up in my family business. Was a respite
feelings
center.
Are yours.
A respite center. So basically, my family business was a teen respite. Okay, we took teenagers that were not placed nowhere else. So basically, minorities. So you're talking about like 16, 17, 18-year-olds with the mind of a 3-4-year-old. Okay, that was my family business. Teen respite centers. Okay. We made them part of the family. Now I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. We clowned each other every single day.
Are you
when we really actually accept you, like if we accept you, we're clowning you too. And I'm just saying, like, we grew up like
gotta go out.
We grew up together. Like we grew up together. Like when my mom first opened the respite center.
Gotta be out, y'all.
Oh, damn, you gotta go. Okay.
You gotta go. See you, Chris, man.
Peace. Have a good night.
You have a good night, too.
Love y'all.
Love you, too, Chris.
Please, man.
All right, so look, when my mom first opened it, literally, like, these kids were, like, 12, 13. So, like, we grew up together, you know? And we clown each other, me and my brothers and sisters. So, from the outside looking in, somebody be looking like, oh, that's cruel. You shouldn't do this, but they don't understand that, like, we're looking at them as a sibling. You know, they don't eat different with us. They eat at the dinner table with us.
Okay, these are people you know.
No, well, they're like family, basically. Family. Even like years after my mom closed the center.
But some people don't like it. And just because you don't think that someone else shouldn't like it doesn't give you the right to impose that on them. I didn't even make my point yet. So
let me make my point. My point was this. My point was, it's always going to be from the eye of the perspective. From the outside looking in, if someone were to just knock on our door and come in the house and see us interacting, they would look at us and say, you're treating these. Oh, what's up? Okay, so listen, they would say you're treating these kids differently when they don't realize we're actually treating them more like family. What they don't know is when that mom had an actual real emergency, that child could literally stay over. What they don't know is that child didn't even eat the lunch the mom prepared. He always wanted to eat dinner with us. I mean, to this day, we still joke about him cracking up. Miss Hash, best fried chicken. He never ate them damn sandwiches and shit that his mom packed. Like, he always ate with us, like literally at the dinner table. You know? So all I'm saying is, like, he was literally family and still is to this day. To this day.
Okay, gotcha.
No, yeah. So all I'm saying is, like, you don't know what the outside is looking in.
Okay.
You know, so you can't judge how somebody else is gonna look at it. Will and Chris have a different dynamic. They're probably gonna work that shit out on another level we would never see.
We just talking about regular comedians that don't know each other. They don't know the crowd.
Could I give a couple of examples real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. First night that I was on the show, Alexa, you talking about show me your titties?
I remember about to do this today.
It actually
Are you about to do this? Are you about to do this?
We're gonna keep it real.
Do it. Let's do it.
It wasn't funny.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't funny. To me, I'm like, I do not know you. And I hate it. I hate it.
I said show me your titties because I have the same thing with growing up with big titties. And matter of fact, in high school, they used to call me Tiggo Bitties. Tiggo Bitties because I developed early. So I just thought it was funny. I didn't want to offend you.
Right. But I was annoyed. Like, I was annoyed because I don't know you. And you don't know me enough if I want you to be talking about my body and I just met you 2 seconds ago.
If you got big titties, you got big titties. You can't hide them. You can't hide them. And just like my aunties used to tell me, that shit. They said, listen,
exactly.
My aunties used to tell me, Alexa, if you try to hide them titties, the Lord will take them away from you.
But
the Lord will take them away.
I get what you're saying.
So I don't hide them.
That really wasn't even my point. The point is, I just rolled with it because what do I look like trying to fight everybody all the time over their reaction over my chest? That is a fight.
Big titties. You have to just accept that in life.
Okay.
And if you want to be,
why are you trying to tell me what I should and should not accept? And see, this is what this is what pissed me off when someone is honest about something that is not appreciative of them. People want to blow it up like you should not have those feelings, like your feelings and your viewpoint is not valid, and that's bullshit. I'm telling you,
you can feel how you want to feel, but as long as you have them out, people gonna see them.
Yeah, Justin,
and that's it.
I'm gonna come back around, but
I'm talking to you as a I'm
gonna come back around.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I don't have the fight, because people be acting like you, like my feelings don't matter, and my view doesn't have it.
They matter. They matter.
No, they doesn't. Not to you.
Your titties is not going to disappear.
Justifying yourself.
Your titties is not going to disappear, girl.
You see how you acting? You see how you acting?
God,
you proving my point.
If I see them big titties, I want to suck them.
Not respect you. You don't respect me or
I'm
my
not going to pretend like I don't.
You don't.
Erica, let me come back.
Please
let me come back, Erica.
I will. People
will
consistently disrespect your point of view because they feel like your view is not respectful enough to actually honor. So instead of actually honoring my feelings, so I just gave an example. People ain't gonna honor how you feel or what you do. You know what I'm saying? And if you have that time and time again, where people are not, like, even when I be talking about, you know, how I look or what I think, you always come in and be like, nah. Girl, you don't know me like that to be talking about.
I honor it, but at the end of the day, if I have a couple shots and I see your titties out, I want to suck him. I'm just telling you straight up.
Okay,
that is not respectful because if
there
a
ain't no
man was
getting
saying
around
that
that.
to me, if a man was saying that to me, that is disrespectful.
Let's move it from
Nobody's
that.
gonna change that.
Example.
This world is not going to change no time soon.
It's disrespectful.
You there?
Because a man couldn't get away with saying that to me.
Yeah, I can hear
and
you.
just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you should be saying that to me.
Just,
because we don't have any sort of
you can
relationship
shoot it down.
that you should be saying
guys, let Justin get in right quick, guys.
Yeah,
let Justin get. I promise you, I will come back to this.
Doing? We miss you. Where you been at? Where you been?
He's good.
Hey.
I don't know if you heard the previous question. Did you hear the previous question?
I don't know. I now think about his titties.
I need one of them.
Well, the question was about basically dealing with the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation and being able to tell jokes that are at other people's expense. What are comedians supposed to do going forward if your crowd, your audience comes to your arena? Should comedians be on standby and wonder if they're going to get slapped? Should they hold their jokes back because they may hurt someone's feelings? What should comedians do going forward?
Nope.
Or should the audience be aware that, hey, this is my job? You could get clowned on.
Yeah, the audience should 100% know that you could get, picked out or clowned on in a show. I sometimes I'll look for somebody in a show or whatever. Now I have once on occasion said something prior to the couple that I was gonna say something about. I can't remember what it was, but I just made sure it was cool with both of them, and they were. But that's the only time I've ever done that. The other times I will call you out. Like they didn't get offended either. There's a lady that looked like the short-haired chick off of Golden Girls one time, and I looked up her name, and I was like, we have
which one? Which Golden Girl? Which
Blanche. We got Blanche in the audience.
Oh, that's Blanche. That's my bitch. I love Blanche.
I said from the grave. We got Blanche in the audience, and then
I love Blanche.
Jackie Jordan Kersey. I said Jackie Jordan Kersey. There was a lady that looked like her, and they weren't mad. No, yeah, that's what. And they weren't mad or nothing like that. But Will Smith was actually laughing at first.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like
until he realized Jada was mad.
But you never know, though, because people are talking about.
That was about Will and his ego.
Right, but people are talking about Jada Pinkett's background. There could be another one in the crowd that has alopecia. There could be someone that's had a death in the family, and you said a joke that they're thinking about. Are we gonna have to worry about everybody that we don't? I mean, because Jada Pinkett is a public figure, we do know about what's going on. But how about people who don't know?
We all know. Yeah,
Jada Pinkett
could have got one of her wigs off and set it off and wore it.
Know that there is a time and place for. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make a 9/11 joke on 9/13. Right. Not gonna do it. That's not the time or the place.
Right.
What bothers me
people
is
that do that though too.
Chris Rock had a whole documentary on Black women's hair.
He knew.
And Erica, just like you said, what happens is gaslighting. Oh, it was just a joke. Oh, I was just kidding. Do you need to be put on notice, comedians? No. I've made offensive jokes before on stage that hit different groups, but at the same time, they weren't targeted towards a very specific person. If, like, for me, if you're targeting a person for something that they can't fix in 5 minutes, like, oh, like you got old girl over here with broccoli in her teeth coming to the comedy show with broccoli in her teeth. Like, if it's something that can't be fixed, that can't be just taken off with, a shirt, coming into a comedy show looking like a pumpkin because you're wearing neon orange, like, that's something that you can control. But if it's something that the person cannot help, and you've acknowledged in the past that this is something that is problematic within a community, lighten up. Don't make that a joke. If it's something that a person can't help, something that is of their physical appearance, like, I will never make a joke. I've been the big girl in the crowd. I will never make a joke about somebody's weight. Why? Because that may be a sensitive subject for them, and it will impact
their view, not just of me as a comedian, but also of the show as a whole. And that's what gets out. That's what gets out into the community. That person gets on Twitter. You don't know if they have a huge following, but you've made fun of something that a person cannot help. What Chris Rock did was ableism. You're making fun of a disability, a disorder that somebody has.
If that's what he was doing.
See, the thing about that is you say big, this, that, but you got people who will look at you and say you're too skinny. So like, for instance, I have people in my family. I got people in my actual family that I grew up with. You know, I got 1,001 cousins, okay? They don't want nobody under 200 pounds. So I'm just trying to tell you, even though their sisters be 115, 120, they don't want nobody under 2. So you have to look at, like, you can't say this is a big girl, this is a small girl. My family, like, is off the chain. You got people who they think you're ugly if you're under a certain way, not over, but under.
But under. At the same time,
so you have to look, and I'm like, it's in the eyes of it's in the eyes of the person looking at you.
Well, okay, what about this then? Because we mentioned, okay, we're talking about jokes that you can't fix within 5 minutes or so, and I guarantee you Justin can adhere to this. Justin, have you ever been picked on because you're a white guy?
Of course.
Every time.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm okay with it.
And we laugh at that.
I wear it like a badge of honor.
Right. But you can't fix it.
Yep.
But
the
we laugh at
comedian
it.
knows their target. Like if you go to a Cat Williams show, you know you're gonna get picked, you're gonna be called out and picked on for X, Y, and Z. But at a huge major event like the Oscars, as a comedian, you, like, my view, tone it down just a bit, because it's, even though you don't get to see every single person that you're making the joke to, you are hitting someone, especially if that is not your MO. I know that if I go to if I go to one specific comedian show, I know that certain groups are going to be called out because that is their MO. If I pay my ticket and I pay my way to go into that show, I have no right to be upset because I know that that's what I went in for. Like, that is what I am expecting. That is the experience that I'm expecting.
So you're saying depending on the venue?
Not even the venue, but depending on the, really it's the experience more so than the venue. Chris Rock could come to the Big Apple in Fayetteville and I know what I'm expecting when I go there. But at the Grammys, when you have such a large audience, not just in person, but internationally, because you have individuals in other countries and you're mocking a specific person in a specific group.
I mean, that's what he gets. That's what he does, though.
When you even that is outside of his standard MO, because again, his humor, Chris Rock's humor, historically tends to be self-deprecating.
Right.
He'll pick on himself.
When you step out the house, you have to be willing to accept everything. I mean, when you step off your porch, you don't know what somebody's going to say as a joke.
You accept disrespect as soon as you.
No, I'm not saying you have to accept it. I'm not going to say that you have to accept it personally. What you're saying. No.
That's
you don't
exactly
have to
what you're saying right now.
Let me finish my statement. You don't have to accept it personally.
That's exactly how.
But I'm just saying you shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised.
But it doesn't mean you have to accept it. I may not be surprised.
You don't have to accept it.
So what? Doesn't mean I have to accept it.
But realize that each person that's going on that stage, each person that's doing this, just like an artist is painting shit, just like a poet is writing words, you got to realize that's art. Yeah. It's art. And if you don't want their
fine line with that.
If you don't want their art, then fucking look away.
All right. Well, see, Chris Rock could not, and that's why I said there's extremes to everything. Chris Rock could not go up and say, look at that bald bitch over there. And I would totally understand Will Smith went up and just slapped him off of that. And it's a fine line between what's offensive and what's a joke. But then it's hard to figure out. That's the art and fine line of a comedian.
He told him not to say it specifically. He told him not to say it specifically.
No, it's not for a comedian. No, it's not. Because that's why we go and practice this stuff. Because we have to figure out what's either funny or not, or what's offensive or not. It's not hypothetical. It's what we do all the time.
He specifically told him not to say that. That's the only reason why he slapped him.
Huh?
That was a personal thing. That was personal.
Okay, but we're talking about comedians around the world, and I'm talking. That's not hypothetical. That's what all comedians do.
He had to slap him. He told him specifically not to say it.
I don't believe that, but whatever. I'm talking about comedians.
What are you talking about? He told him specific. He was laughing at first. He laughed at first.
No. Oh, yeah, he was laughing at first, but Google it and
so
check
I
it.
laughed.
I'm not getting into that. I'm getting on regular comedians.
Listen, it's two. Okay, so
get off the Chris Rock
when I'm nervous, and I laugh when I'm mad.
We're getting off the Chris Rock part. We're talking about regular comedians, everyday comedians. We're not talking about Chris Rock.
To not talk about his wife's. Talk about his wife.
Okay, that's irrelevant right now. I'm talking about everyday comedians that are out here that are going to tell jokes that are deprecating to their audience.
I don't think they're going to have these problems.
No,
it's not going to happen.
No,
they're not going to have.
No, it happens. I've seen videos of it. It's just not rampant. This is why I don't think everybody acts like that.
It's not going to be more. It's not.
Yeah, some people just get their feelings hurt.
Regular comedians are going to have.
I'm just talking about people's feelings getting hurt. Should we look out for people's feelings getting hurt, not for like their reaction? Now,
if you know the person, yes.
No, I'm saying we don't know them because we don't know everybody's past and backstory. Should that matter, or should it matter? That's what I'm talking.
If you know the person and you know that they're not happy with the situation, then yeah, you should definitely honor it.
It will never happen again.
But if you don't know the people, yeah.
With like in a regular comedy show, if someone doesn't like something, what do? They get up and they walk out. They're like, I ain't supporting this. I'm out of here. Deuces. I don't think with your standard comedian that this is going to continue to happen, nor should it, because you're not targeting a specific person in the audience on a personal level. Unless the entire audience is your best friend, they're not going to know.
It was personal. To deny that talking about say it wasn't personal, yeah, you ignoring the fact.
That is a personal. If you're talking about somebody's facial features, or if they're fat, or if they're white, that is personal.
Y'all trying to mix apples with oranges. You can't do that. You can't mix apples with oranges. This was a personal thing, and that's why I'm trying to tell you.
Get off of it, because
you got to do a little bit of research, because he specifically told him not to do it.
Okay, get off of that. We're talking about regular comedians. That's all.
But see, this will never happen in a regular show.
We're not talking. That's why I said stop talking about it. We're not talking about the show anymore. We're talking about regular comedians. That's it. Just regular comedians, not Chris Rock and Will Smith. Talking about regular comedians. How should we move going forward? How should we move going forward?
I think you should continue. I think
regular comedians.
I think that if you see someone that has a handicap, no, I don't think you should be cracking jokes on them.
I mean, I don't want to disagree with you, but I know there are handicapped people that come there just for that. We know people that just want to be joked on. They'll sit in the front row on purpose, like, please joke on me. Please joke on this girl that sit beside me. It's almost like comedy cuckold, almost like they want to see their wife get joked on or something. There are people like that.
Yeah. Like if I see a white chick with the cut hair thing,
kind of warm
I'm
up
immediately going to my joke on that.
I do notice.
What do you mean the cut hair, Justin? What you talking about? I know where you're going, but I want to hear you say it first. I want to hear you say it first.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like a bob.
The bob haircut. The chicks that like the white chicks that like black guys. If they have a bob haircut,
the Karen.
Immediately.
I knew you was gonna say it. I knew you was gonna say it. Yes.
I was gonna say she's
layers.
Newport Light and like dates black guys.
Erica, go ahead. I
the
want to hear
bob.
They
what you
got
were
the
saying
layers.
something
I know.
about comedians
Yes.
warming up. What were you saying?
I know comedians usually warm up when they start. You know, they try to get the vibe and the energy. You know, they do usually
True.
address that person to kind of
Mm-hmm.
catch the vibe on, hey, is this person going to receive it? So comedians have to work on, you know, energy. So that usually before a comedian cracks a joke on somebody, they will have an opening line with that person to let that person know that they are addressing them to see how far that they can go with them. I know that's what I do.
Knowing your audience. I
If
guess
they
that's
really
what you
close, they'll
call it.
text them
Yeah.
first.
I'll start making fun of myself first before I
Mhm.
start like hitting up anybody in the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you
And that
look
lets the
like a
person,
celebrity or something.
and that gives the person that you're going to talk to next the comfortability of a relatability of a humanity between you guys
Open
that y'all are
room.
going to crack on.
Pro show.
Crack on it.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm vulnerable, so
Yep,
you can be
yep.
vulnerable
Right.
too.
And you know, with comedy
Y'all have a
shows,
way y'all do that.
with comedy shows, a lot of time they have music artists open up first. So way back when I was signed on a damn label, I mean, I done met so many comedians, it's not even funny. And they'll tell you straight up, don't get mad if I say some shit about this. Don't get mad if I say some shit about that. They just want to make sure everybody's going to laugh. That's it. And if you can do good in your first 7 to 10 minutes, you good. So you know what? If I got some crazy ass neon green heels on, clown them shits. You know, if it's gonna get you on your roll, if it's gonna get you on your roll, that's what comedians have to do. And when I was a music artist, I can't tell you how many times we opened up for comedians and they clowned us, the people who opened up for them, because they knew we were cool and we wasn't gonna take it personal. We already turned up backstage. We already took shots.
All right, they knew.
We already kicked it, you know. So they already knew like we were gonna be cool because they had to get the crowd comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was no hard feelings.
It doesn't always work though. Like I said, I've been to plenty of shows where a joke was told and they thought the person was cool, and then they walked out crying, and then the comedian had to go outside and comfort them, like, "Hey, it was just jokes. I wasn't meaning to, demean you or anything."
And that's a good thing to do. If you feel like, look, I had a situation, okay, where I was in this sex group on Facebook, and we just talked about everything about sex. So everything about male, female, and just
what's
all
the call,
sorts of
girl?
situations.
Look, I'm about to add it right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save them from you. Okay.
Whatever. Look, now I'm gonna find everything you saw. Look. I'm gonna find everything you saw.
No. So I cut up in there a lot because that was like my where I would go to like decompress from real life stuff. So, and everybody got jokes on in there. I got jokes on there so much about everything. But in the group, that we knew that in the group, this is where love's off about everything. It was, known because we all live in the same city. So, we know whatever we do in that group, we only do there. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that in public. We only do
like
it
Vegas.
in the group. Yes. Yes. And it was
Right.
just a saying, what happens here stays in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would clown each other all the time, but we wouldn't do that on the street. You know what I'm saying? However we behave in the street, we professional, we entrepreneurs, we out here making money. You know what I'm saying? So no, we ain't gonna mess up that. So I had seen an ad, and it was for transgendered men. And they all were bleeding, like had their period. And I didn't know because, like I said, I, don't know a lot about, transgender community. I've learned
Transgender
since then.
men or transgender women?
There were women who had become men.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
But they still had their period. So they're like, men bleed too.
Okay.
And in my mind, it was ironic. I'm like, oh my God, they haven't been able to stop their period yet. I was like, that has got to be
No. Unless you
messed
can get
up.
everything removed, it still goes. Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm trying to understand. Where were we going with this story? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it still goes.
maybe you let me finish and then I'll get to the point. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, I shared it in the group. I'm like, man, you imagine you go through all that mess and you still had to have your period. That sucks. And someone got really offended, like if I was making fun of transgender people, you know, which I wasn't. It's ironic. All that work to become a man, and you still got your monthly. That sucks. I didn't know. Now I know, and I think it's ironically hilarious. All that work to be a man, and you still got PMS.
It's because they're not going to financially support you. Let me tell you, if you're a man trying to be a woman, if you're a man trying to be a woman, you will be financially supported. But if you're a woman becoming a man, you're not going to get no support. So,
well, there was someone in the group that I did not know. I guess they had a transgendered friend who had passed away, had killed themselves or something like that. So they were very sensitive about that.
I have many of them.
I caught wind of it, jumped in that person's DMs, because if there's something between me and you, I'm going to talk to you about it. You know, I'm going to, be like, whatever. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to talk to me about it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to have that conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. I approached you. However, in the group, then they wanted to fight. And I'm like, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Number one, it's a joke. Number two, we in the group. We know in the group, everybody gets it. It don't matter if you black, it don't matter if you're white, don't matter if you're man, don't matter if you woman. That's the rules of this group. Everybody gets it. I've gotten it. I had a post upon post about my boobs, about my smile. There was like a 3,000 comment post about who I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? So we all had gotten dragged in that group. So don't come after me, complaining now. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand either. So I did. I put it out there. I was like, I thought this was funny. Somebody tell me why it's not funny. So I had I didn't even know that they were transgendered. And they were like, explaining to me, so we had a whole conversation about it. And I had a deeper understanding. I was like, okay, well, yeah, I didn't understand how that would be a sensitive subject. And so, yeah, I'll never make that reference in public again. But at the same time, I think it is ironic that you do all that work to be a man and you still got PMS. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's how, y'all proves men still have, don't matter if you transgender man or a real man, you still going to have PMS. But it still hit somebody's nerve. Now, like I said,
I only know one woman that went from woman to be a man, but I have a lot of friends that went from, transgender. So
I don't, like I said,
yeah,
I
only know one actual girl that went through the whole actual real process.
But I did learn. And then from that moment on, I am more mindful to make sure to, that when people's feelings are hurt or they feel away, be understanding.
Their feelings. Look, this is a real world. Everybody's feelings get hurt. Everybody's feelings get hurt.
That's kind of the thing I don't understand. It's like
they get drunk and make gay drunks about each other. So that's why I don't got no feelings for that shit.
You can't have both.
No, I'm just gonna keep it real.
Confusing about this. It's like we're talking about people that we've had conversations. We know personal things about. We know about people we know, personally. Like if we know somebody that suffered from domestic abuse, you're like, I don't want to make no jokes about that because, or they may have lived in it, whatever. You don't want to make no jokes about it. Versus another comedian may not know anybody personally has been through that.
Say your jokes.
Who do you pick?
There's a level
your
of
jokes.
That
I don't give a care.
Comedy.
Say your jokes.
Double-minded, double-mouthed.
No, say your jokes because at the end of the day, it's if it's in you.
You gotta say one thing 1 minute and one thing another.
No, if it's in you, then they need to know it's in you. Right? They need to know it's in you.
Aaron, what were you about to say?
Pick a struggle.
I was saying there has to be there's a level of empathy that comes with that. Erica, once you were educated on the topic of transgender people, you toned back the jokes outside because you had a better understanding. You understood the impact.
But in the group, no, y'all didn't hold back at all because hey, we in the group.
Within
we
the
know
group,
the rules
yeah.
in here. But
Okay.
outside, yeah.
Because that was
that.
again, that goes down to the audience.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it goes
The
down to the
arena,
audience.
the
If
audience.
you, like you said, Red, with domestic abuse, if you know that someone who is close to you personally in the audience went through a domestic violence situation, you're not going to make a domestic abuse joke right then and there, because at that point that will make people extremely uncomfortable. And yes, while there's a level of discomfort with comedy, there is a line. There is a line because some of those things can be life or death. Transgender rights can be life or death. Domestic abuse can be life or death. And if you haven't been through that personally, or you haven't been impacted by someone who's been through it personally, you don't have that understanding of the impact of the word. And no longer does the comedy's not funny anymore, because at that point you've marred the entire situation, not just for them but for others, because others may have friends or family who are transgender or have gone through domestic violence, and they're like, oh, that's a little rough, that's a little uncomfortable.
And if you know specifically that someone has gone through that, why would you make a joke about them to their face?
I'm going to tell you why you would. Because
we already know why you would, girl, because you have no control over your mouth once you get alcohol in it.
Once upon a time,
you don't know how to control your drink. You don't know how to tone yourself down once you start getting alcohol in your mouth, and then you be
can I make my point? Because actually, I'm not even drunk. I'm not even drunk. Actually, you're drunk right now.
Let's not do any personal attacks, y'all.
So let me make my point. Let me make my point.
No personal attacks. Let's talk.
Okay. Let me make my point, Erica. Let me make my point. So let me make my point.
I'm listening.
Like I said, this is the issue with me. I have no problem with acknowledging those lines to cross. But when you grow up with people who become transgender and you walking on eggshells all day, every day for years and years and years, and then finally everybody gets drunk, and guess what? You're using the same terms I wasn't using. You're cracking the same jokes I was not cracking, trying to be sensitive to your ass. And if you don't believe me, shit, I can give you receipts. I grew up with people since I was 9, 10, 11, okay? So let me tell you something. I grew up with people who became transgender. So why you sitting up here talking all this, oh, you're drunk, oh, you're drunk, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up one time. All I'm saying is this. I grew up with the best friends, literally best friends, some who are not even alive right now. Okay? And I was trying to be sensitive to them. Come to find out, years later, I'm up here walking on fucking eggshells, and y'all get drunk and say the same shit to each other. How do I know? Because I'm right there at the fucking party with you. Because I'm right here at your Rainbow Club with you. You know, trying to make sure you know I still love you. Trying to support you.
And maybe
we best friends. We're best friends in puberty, and then when we get to the club age where we can go out,
and maybe they
now we got to switch off. Now we got to go to Rainbow Club one week, part of that club. Regular club 1 week. Rainbow regular. This is how close we were because we were just so committed to loving each other, okay? So this is what I'm saying. I don't believe in all this bullshit when it comes to you don't say this, you don't say that. Because guess what? Y'all say it to each other. And that's what pissed me off.
That's what white people be saying about the N-word too.
And that's what pissed me off because I'm like, I'm sitting up here walking on eggshells and y'all motherfuckers getting drunk and cuss each other out talking about some
maybe there's a different level of relatability.
You motherfucking fag. And I'm thinking like, ain't these the words we're not supposed to say? Ain't these the words we're not even supposed to say? You know, like I'm just trying to like understand. Like I thought we weren't supposed to say that.
Justin, you want to get in
Now
on
I'm
it
all
real quick,
around your
man?
rainbow community.
Well, they've been through the struggle. They've been through the struggle.
No, it's not cool because we grew up together.
You so rude.
We grew up together as kids. So
that's
we grew
why.
up together as
That's why
kids.
they
But
didn't want you
it's
saying
not
nothing
you.
like that.
It's not you going through that. It is them.
Exactly.
It is them trying to regain their power. Like, yeah.
You out of pocket.
I'm just saying, why are you
out of
going to
pocket.
condemn anybody if you're saying this shit with your own friends?
You out of pocket.
And we grew up together.
Exactly.
No, I'm not out of pocket. I'm not out of pocket if we grew up together.
Yeah, you are. You should.
No, if we grew up together, no, I'm not out of pocket.
Yeah, you are.
Because we spend the night at each other's house.
You out of pocket.
We told each other everybody's secrets. And now all of a sudden, now you want to come out the closet. Okay, fine. We already knew you was gay. You was the only one that didn't want to say it. So I'm just saying, like, you know, we already knew you was gay. So I'm just saying, like, now you finally got the courage to come out. Okay.
Are you saying just like regular jokes with your friends? Like somebody come out and say they're gay?
Nah. I'm saying like when people say like
come on now, let's not like
punk,
on now.
Like words like
Give me an example.
Sissy.
Don't say nothing too bad because we on YouTube. So
she already did.
Sissy, punk, faggot, all that.
And
I'm just like
down even more. That's
sissy,
ridiculous.
punk, faggot. We don't say that. But then
no,
again,
don't say that word on YouTube.
But you get with your friends. You get with your friends.
You so out of.
You get with your friends and you say that freely. And to me, I'm thinking to myself like, ain't you not supposed to say that? You know?
Yeah, you're not supposed to say it.
Ain't you not supposed to say that?
You have some sense of it. No.
And some of these friends you met after me. After me.
Are your friends cool with you saying that? Hey,
you wanted to
Alexa,
feel validated.
Are your friends cool with you saying that word?
If she's
saying
it's
not that they're cool or not cool. I'm just saying, like, don't protest against shit if you know that you're really down with it.
Like what?
Like those words.
Like saying the N-word.
But my point is this:
that's exactly what white people say about.
If we grew up together, if we grew up together as little kids, right? We grew up together as little kids. I've always accepted you. I've always accepted you, right? I've always accepted you. Now you want to come out? Okay, fine. Go ahead and come out. We already knew you was gay. You were waiting.
Attitude.
You were waiting. You were waiting to say you was gay.
Fine.
So now you're finally out, right? Now you with your gay friends, right?
We already knew you was
but
gay.
now you're with your gay friends, and now you want to sit up here and get offended about shit.
Be offended by your attitude towards
you want to get offended by shit when y'all saying it to each other freely.
Your attitude.
That's hurtful. Because I knew you before you knew these motherfuckers.
Yeah, but you're talking about personal relationships though versus somebody doesn't know you. Like everybody can't say the same thing. And like I think Erica was alluding to the N-word. You know, everybody just can't come up and say the N-word because you don't know what context they're even saying that out of.
Well, nobody should say the N-word ever if they don't know you personally.
And no one should be calling people out their name like you just did, calling people the F word and using that word on YouTube.
I said I don't use it. I've never used it. I've never used it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying when I hear
when I hear you or females that call each other bitch as a friendly term that are friends with each other, but they don't allow outside
from
people
them,
to
not
talk
from
that.
you. They don't.
I don't use it, but when I hear you accepting it from other people, yeah, I'm gonna feel a certain kind of way because here I am, ride or die for you. You know, we grew up together from little kids. Now you sitting up here. Now you sitting up here accepting this shit from somebody else.
Here on the show.
Justin, you there?
You know what the fuck?
Okay, Justin, what is something that you would not tolerate being called amongst your friends?
Which one?
That you would tolerate being called amongst your friends that outside people cannot talk about or call you.
I don't really have anything because I'm pretty open, but I can relate to the saying the end. Like I have a lot of black friends but I'm pretty open though. That's different. I don't have any sensitivity things like that, but I do have black friends that when like we're alone, like I say the N word around them in right context, not like with not with the hard R, with the like as a term and endearment. But
Not with the hard R.
But I
Okay.
damn sure I wouldn't sit there and say that
To a
yeah,
stranger.
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it to a stranger, or I wouldn't say
Exactly.
it out in a group of people with my, you know what I'm saying? Because then other white people think they could do it too, and then make it all weird, and then fucking. But I
Goes
know
back
that's,
to the
you know what I'm saying?
audience.
That's just between. Yeah, and so I wouldn't do that shit.
Right.
But
Got to know your audience.
I don't really have anything. If I didn't like somebody and they said something that I could take offensive, and I just wanted to start some shit, then maybe. But I don't really have anything like that. But I could see other people that could, like if I was bow-legged or something like that, my friends.
Imagine growing up with somebody since you were fucking little, and all of a sudden they just accepting some random shit. That's gonna make you feel crazy. Because you like,
so I got when I was little.
I'm sitting up here trying to protect your truth.
When I was little, I was adopted
and now
or whatever.
You sitting up here letting these motherfuckers do this, say this, like what the fuck am I? Chopped liver?
Yeah, but that's different.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they don't know that about you either, and they can relate because they've been through the struggle or whatever, of going through the sex change and people looking at them and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of get what on that point. But when I was younger, I was adopted, right? So I was sensitive about that. If other,
I'm up here sewing your fucking weave in, doing your makeup, trying to make you look like Beyonce, and then we go to the club and somebody fucking tells you sissy bitch and you want to hug them. What?
I think it's all about what we kind of was saying.
I'm ready to fight.
Like
know your audience.
I'm ready to fucking
thank you so much for being here, sweetie.
And you letting that shit ride? Like, that's not cool. Like, you need to give me an update or something. Give me an update. Is that okay now? You. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay to say the shit.
It's about you, and you wanted those rights too, and you felt like you should be able
I'm
to
saying
say
is, like I said, I was a dancer, and I grew up with a lot of guys who ended up being gay, and some of them ended up being transgender. So I'm just saying, growing up with them since we were really, really little, I don't understand you letting people say certain shit and then you want to get mad at your real friends. Now, I'm your real motherfucking friend. I'm the one that if you fucking get homeless, you know damn well you can sleep on my couch. I'm your real fucking friend.
All right.
So that's all I'm saying.
If you would, you respect their boundaries and what they want.
All I'm saying is if you're going to check me, definitely check them.
You obviously were not respecting their boundaries.
Well, I always respect boundaries. I just check
people
when they let other people.
Bring this to a crescendo, guys.
When you let other people disrespect. Why are you letting all these other people disrespect?
That was in your eyes, not in theirs, and that was for them to say, not for you.
Girl,
we're gonna bring you crescendo. We're gonna end it here, guys.
It ain't like that. Trust me, it's not.
Let's talk about next week, y'all. What we got going next week? Next Thursday, what we got?
Look at Justin living his best life.
Yeah.
Where'd you even come from? Where you at? You came on this motherfucking hella late. Where are you even at right now?
I was on Mexican time, so that's why I was even later.
You on Mexican time? Where you at in Mexico?
Okay.
What time is it there?
We were Cosmet. Well, now it's the regular time. It is there. It's what time is it there?
10:46.
Yeah, now I'm on the right time.
Where are you at in Mexico?
I'm not in Mexico anymore. I'm on we're on our way back to Miami. So I think we just passed Cuba.
How are you on your way back? Are you in a plane, a train, what?
Oh, I'm on the ship.
You on a cruise ship?
On a cruise ship.
What line?
Yeah.
What line?
Carnival.
Oh, fuck Carnival. I hate Carnival.
That's my sign off for the show. What?
I'm a cruise head.
That's what I can afford.
What we got going on?
I'm a cruise head, so I'm very biased.
What? All right, next week. What's going on next week?
Every time we dock next to Carnival, we used to make sure.
Carnival. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what's going on.
Every time we dock next to Carnival, we used to make sure they let us know. Holland America, Cruise West. Yeah.
What do we got going on next week? Erica, Alexa,
Carnival.
Justin. What we got going on next Thursday?
Week, we are going to be live at Red's to celebrate Red's birthday. So we are all going to be together in Fayetteville, right?
Hopefully.
Making the trip to Red's place, and we're going to turn up and just have a great time and celebrate our fearless leader's solar return. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about that, to be able to be with you guys.
Disclaimer, I'm going through some personal shit.
Me too.
So
You always going through personal shit.
I might be.
Exactly. That's a regular.
I might be just.
You drink next.
I might be online. I'm sorry. No.
I'm gonna beat you up. Look, I'm gonna beat you up as a sister. Look,
you can't.
We're gonna have a sibling fight. We're gonna have a sibling fight next week, girl.
I'm a heel.
Because you're killing me. You killing me. You killing me.
I'm just giving y'all heads up. I'm just giving y'all heads up. I might be the one online.
All
what are you
right,
talking about? Oh,
so
no, you ain't allowed to be online. You gotta show up. I want to hear about nothing going on in your personal life that's gonna keep you from keeping a commitment.
Damn.
Stop with that extra. You're gonna be there with all of us. If we all making the trip to make it happen, you're gonna make it happen too.
And my son gonna be right on the side of me.
Right, bring them. Bring them. And you are at
don't bring no violence.
Minimum from here on out.
He'll be right on the fucking side of me. No, real shit. Though, yeah.
Don't bring no violence here now. Come on now. Ain't got no insurance on the house.
This is a good show.
No.
We're going to talk about WrestleMania and next week, Red.
Is that happening this weekend?
Yeah, it's this weekend.
It's here?
I mean, we got another WrestleMania. That's Duke versus Carolina. So I didn't know which one you were talking
about.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That was my next thing.
Is it real WrestleMania here? You guys know, let me tell you something. I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not even trying to be like BSing or nothing. I got hired to be on a reality show, right?
Shut up.
It was called Rat City. Rat City. They got funding and everything. It was called Rat City. They got funding and everything. And it was gonna be shot in Washington, right?
Oh no, Aaron. No, we're Duke fans.
Yeah.
Where did she even go? Why are you even off the thing right now? Why are you talking like where did you go?
She's ironing her Tar Heel shirt. That's what she's doing.
Where are you at? Girl, anyways.
Yeah.
So we gotta
go ahead and show guys.
So Rat City, I was supposed to learn how to kickbox.
Erica left for sure.
I was supposed to learn how to kickbox, and everything was paid for and everything. One thing dropped out the loop, and the fucking show went down the hill. But basically, I went there with my big ass afro. That was back in the day. I had like a big ass curly afro. I went there, and you know what the crazy thing is? My brothers always bring me to these crazy auditions. Like even me being signed to my label. The crazy thing is that it's always one of my brothers that bring me to these auditions. Like I never even be looking for him, but they always bring me to him. So anyways, my oldest brother brought me to this audition, and I
we still alive, right?
Talk to him, do all this shit. And it was like, I can tell you right now, we want you on the show. Da, 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 da. I would basically be like Foxy Cleopatra kickboxer. So they wanted me to like train and learn how to do all the like flips and shit, like in the ring. And it was like, we just want you to, and you know what, to be honest with you, they wanted me to be the ghetto black girl. Let's just keep it real. They wanted me to be the ghetto black girl. So
we got to log off, Alexa. We got to end the show.
I was like, damn.
We got to get off. People got to go to bed. We got to get off.
All right.
Oh, shit. Damn, look how long we've been on.
Next week, Duke, Carolina.
Right. WrestleMania.
I still want to talk about Rat City.
And then some other topics.
Yeah. We'll figure that out when it comes, but yeah. And, like I said.
Happy birthday to Red.
Hopefully, are you going to be able to come on? I mean, on.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be back.
Okay.
Me and you both going to be online.
I'm going to be back tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow.
We're going to exit off of here. Thanks everybody for joining Hostile Therapy. Getting some not because you want it, but because you need it. And like I said, we'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. Have a good night, everybody.
Show. Thanks for the love, Aaron. See y'all next week.